Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. The fuck's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this place. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Ooh. Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? If I had an option to be someone else, I would, and let go of you. I know that I'm obvious, fuck it, I'm made this way. But why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done in my drink at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Ooh. Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? The only one that's left in the rain. The only one that's left in the rain. Am I the only one? 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 Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Ooh. Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two of us? And yeah, I know we both wanted different things, but letting go just comes easy to you, don't it? Why am I the only one who's left in the rain? Doesn't matter where we go and destination unknown. I don't care where the motor stops, cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it, oh I want it, let's go. Look around, where's the people at? I want a taste of the good life. Hit me with it right now, I'm in it. Cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it, oh I want it, let's go. And I won't look back, yeah. I don't care about the bad shit back home. It's Cincinnati, baby, I just wanna let it go. Nothing matters when we're way out here. Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't have to know your real name. I'm just addicted to the way you take the pain away. Nothing matters when we're way out here. Yeah. Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby. You said, yeah, Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby. It's 2 a.m. when we close the bar, but we're in the get-go. Next place, give me some more. I could dance with you beneath the stars, cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want you. Everything stops when you move like that, and I wanna get in close to you. It's what I'm gonna do, cause right now I'm in it. I feel kinda dizzy when I'm staring at you. And I won't look back, yeah. I don't care about the bad shit back home. It's Cincinnati, baby, I just wanna let it go. Nothing matters when we're way out here. Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't have to stops when you move like that, yeah. Everything stops when you move like that, and I wanna get in close to you. It's what I'm gonna do, 'cause right now I'm in it. Yeah, I'm fucking in it. I don't care about the bad shit back home. It's Cincinnati, baby, I just wanna let it go. Nothing matters when we're way out here. Oh, yeah. Maybe I don't have to know your real name. I'm just addicted to the way you take the pain away. Nothing matters when we're way out here. Oh, yeah. Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby. I said Cincinnati, baby, Cincinnati, baby.
Take everything we got, give it an honest shot, turning it on and off, we've been sliding, riding the highest dream, keeping the fire real. I call for you. Hold your gun, cut the wire, aim for fun with a light to fire. I've been flying up the ceiling, taken by this feeling. Maybe we're invincible at last. Fueling every engine, power is descending. Maybe we're invincible. and maybe we're invincible. Hold your gun, caught the wire, aim for desire. Hold your gun, caught the wire, aim for desire. Hold your gun, caught the wire, aim for desire. Hold your gun, caught the wire, aim for desire. I've been flying to make you believe. With my heart like a drum, we do what we want, but when I'm free, with our hearts on hyperdrive.
Hello, chatto. It's Tuesdat, and coming up today on Building a Nation with MTK, 7 began and only 2 remain. Only us and Haladash remain in European competitions. We in the Champions League, they in the Conference League. We both play at the same time with a chance to make it through to the next round. The last hope of Hungarian football rests on our shoulders. Oh, and it's Football Manager Christmas and all that other goodness coming up today on Building a Nation with MTK Budapest. And we're dancing. I have no idea what this has turned into now. I feel like a cartoon character or a character on the waiting screen of a fighting game. Like, choose your character. It's like Soul Calibur with less swords. How's it going, chap? Ah, dancing with streamers. Oh, God. Can you imagine the scenes if that was a thing? Finish him. Scratching it back on the chair. Yeah. Why not? Hit him with it. I thought I'd bust out the Treaty United shirt today. It's been a while since I've worn this because it stopped being able to fit me. Is the truth on that one. And Paolo, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Arnav. That's really kind of you, straight away on the intro. And we're dancing. Strictly comes streaming. They should have to swap. The dancers have to stream and the streamers have to dance. I can... Chat, I'll have you know, I can pop it and lock it with the best of them. Oh, I tried to keep a straight face, but a street fat chat. Seventh 37th annual beer festival. It's good stuff. Who is the best of them? That is a good question. That is a very good question. I've kept a straight face, chat. None of those avenue smiles for me. Checking out the dance. I kind of did, but I think it's because I was just cramming it all in at the end, right? It's Big Sam actually being unironically linked with Leeds, because I did see something. Do you know what the hilarious thing about that is? Well, 1 second. Ilano, thank you for the 5 months,
Morning,
my friend.
Matto and Chato. Finally caught up on the VODs. Can't believe you won a Champions League without playing an inverted winger.
What are the chances, Ilano? Hey, if we get knocked out Champions League today, we're doing tactics incubator, so you never know. We might see the inevitable return of the inverted winger. I say return. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, it's a good start. I'm feeling... Thing is, right, I was feeling like shit today, and all of a sudden I just feel so much better, and I don't know. It's all confirmed, really. So the weird thing about that is, those of you that were here on, I think it was Sunday stream, were we or were we not literally saying that it's about time someone defrosted Big Sam and brought him in? And literally 2 days later, here it is. Ah, you'll love to see it. Also, Romano said it. Oh, fair one. So the journalist that you stole the information off is probably going to be pretty correct then, I assume, right? I don't know if they've got a good record or not. The urban jungle. To be fair, I'm more just like the jungle. Did I watch Spurs Liverpool? Did I watch Spurs Liverpool? I did, but I switched it on when it was 3-1. So I saw the end of the game though, which was fucking hilarious. And I kind of wished I'd watched the Leicester Everton game last night. Secret of the new sporting director of Leeds. No, I'd do a far worse job than that. I'd be, or would I? Actually, I wonder to myself, right? Even if I wasn't trying, would I still accidentally do a better job? You know? Actually, no, we didn't win that game. I mean, what I would say is, I think someone described it really well when they said it was basically like you saw both sides of Liverpool in the same game, where they had the ability to blow someone like that away so quickly because Spurs allowed that to happen. And then they kind of just went, fancy game of checkers? Like, what are we doing here? That's mad. They could have put Spurs to bed even further than that, and then they just didn't. Let Spurs back into it, and Spurs pushed their way back into it as well. But I must admit, seeing Richarlison do all that, score the goal, I mean, it's so comical. Emma just got home from work and I was watching the game. And when Spurs scored, I went, wow, that's amazing. And I turned around to talk to her for a second. As I turned back to the monitor, they were going back behind
I was
it.
a real bad kid. What thou shalt not, I shalt did. Neighbour's cat I tried to neuter, took a whiz on the school computer. He took a whiz, oh yes, he did.
He did.
But now I've changed, you can't deny. Come on up and testify, ye. Testify, testify. Come on up and testify. My hips misbehaving, testify. I have a nicotine craving, testify. I have a cramp in my glavin, testify. Testify, testify.
I'm cramping my glavin. I misread that as Galvin as well. Ranger friendly for a retiring player. Do you mean like a testimonial, Thomas? Let's get off of this so I can probably show you. Pogumentary Richarlison edition. I know. Pog just brings the best out of people. What can I say? No, but thing is, I could have a conversation with Emmett, though. Because, let's not forget, Emmett's back in the club. He's back to his old stomping ground. 58-year-old Emmett. Second team assistant manager, admittedly, but he's back at MTK. He's going to try and dissuade Todd. So yeah, basically, testimonials... So, obviously, I can't do one right now. But basically, you see here where it says use a testimonial. If you have one available, it will appear in here and it will give you the option of the player that you can select for the testimonial. So, for example, this window, at the beginning of the season, we had testimonials for Jarju, which we played against the under-19 squad, and none of the players that came to the testimonial got into the team because I mistook it. Oh, there he is. And then we had Henrik Pereira's one against Liverpool as well. But that's how you do it, basically. Now, last year it used to be 10 years, but I noticed that both of these two were at the club 12 years before they got their testimonials. So, strangeness. I think it is still 10 years, though, right? Become a VOD. Fair one. What's wrong with your internet? Turn down a testimonial. I mean, I can't remember the last time that Phil Jones played. Sad to say. Like, why is he still there? Is it just a case of he thinks he's not going to get anything elsewhere and is just sticking around? Oh, the Jarju one, yeah. I feel a bit bad that I gave him a testimonial. He didn't play in the test. Oh, no. Did he play in the testimonial? No. He didn't get to play in his own testimonial. He's getting a paycheck. I guess, yeah. I imagine he is probably on quite a large contract at United. Oh, by the way, I asked the board for a new affiliate club and they said yes. Not before, though. They said to me, the results lately haven't been good enough. Don't know which result. They just really didn't like that 2-2 draw against Uipest, I guess. Hadn't lost a game since December. Results haven't been good enough. Luckily, they did come around to it anyway, so we get to choose another affiliate club, which is always fun. I know, losing it into useless. Have I got this all filtered? I do. Okay. The question is, who do we want? Rob, thank you very much for the 11 months as well. You'd love to see it. Thank you, friend. And the hype train continues. 200k without checking his stats on loan. Oh, yes. You love to see it. Salernitana. Do they have good facilities? Ah, fuck. The fact that it's going to do that, no. Hang on. Was Catholic Daddies on there now? I don't think they were there, were they? I think we already have Botiv Plovdiv. Don't we? I swear we already have them. Dortmund, if only, yeah. Yeah, Malaga. Actually, yeah, Malaga have got quite good facilities, don't they? Above average and good. Hilarious. The fact that the Bruins went out after setting a regular season record is hilarious. But also, I can hardly chat shit as the Avs got knocked out by the Kraken in 7 games. Stanley Cup champions. Was expecting a bit more from us, honestly, than losing to the Kraken. I know we were only 3rd seed in the conference, but still. Boavista, maybe. Actually, Sporting Cristal could be quite good. The worst thing is, obviously, because this is sorted by rep, and there's still no way as far as we're aware, there is no way that you can actually show their facilities on this screen, which is a shame. You say FCSB? Oh, they are. Actually, that might be a really good shout. Hartberg aren't bad either. They're not that good. What about Mamelodi Sundowns too? Aren't they like stacked? Above average and good. Wow. In my head, they're like really good, but Malmo would be good too. Have a look at those guys. God. Good and good. That's the best we've seen so far, honestly, is good and good. FCSB? Excellent and good. Plus, having FC Voldemort around would be fun for many reasons. Bochum. I don't think Bochum are that good on that sort of stuff, are they? Average and adequate. Rep and recruit with a full. Yeah, you're right. I wish you could just... It would make sense, right, if you could see it on this screen. Sort by nation. The problem then is you just forget about nations. Tell me about the Romanian ones. They do, but... Hang on. Can we see their recruitment? Oh, yeah. This is what I'm looking at here. Not these. This is what I'm specifically looking at. So that's all right. FCSB are looking like a good shout at the moment. Anyone else is Osijek? Hang on. What about Harjuk? They always have... Good and excellent. Harjuk would be fun. I had no idea you were a Croat, Unearth. Who do you support? Servetta? I'm liking the look of... At the moment, for me, it's between FCSB and Harjuk. And the one thing I would say that Harjuk may have on their side is that they're... Oh, that's the junior coaching, though. That's not really important to me. I feel like their youth recruitment is better. Get the best of every country. True, but then... We would all have to go through each individual country, and it just takes too long. There's Hammerby stacked as well. Good and good. Junior Saint-Gilloise, were they in there? I don't think they're that great, are they? They're decent. Not much check on it. We were just getting a new affiliate club. Hopefully, Maribor are quite solid. Eichel. Circular Brugge. Sorry, Roundabout Bruges. Oh, have we looked at Zulte Waregem before and thought, actually, they're nowhere near as good as... They're decent, but I still think others are better. Brumbu... I didn't see them. I felt like they would have been on the top part here if they were on there. I honestly don't know, Adam, exactly what it uses. We've tried to work this out before, and it does seem very, very random, honestly. Look at first teams to see if they get any players in the youth intake at all. The problem is, I don't think that would actually tell us much because it seems that randoms every season, it's not always the same. So even if they had one last year, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to get one. And I suspect as well, having them as your affiliate might actually allow that to happen. Stadium info on that page. I don't think it does. No. You'd think it would do though, right? You'd expect... It doesn't make sense to me why you can't see that information on this screen. And I know Saz has tried to add it to the skin. Speaking of which, I've got the newest version of the skin. Let's just have a look at a few extra nations then. Just looking at any nation I know produces okay players. Argentina, no. Australia? I mean, only if CU Academy was available. Austria, there will be some clubs, but... Oh, wait. What the hell? Hang on, let me scroll up again. I feel like the only club I'd be desperate for in Austria would be Admira Wacker. If we could get Admira Wacker, I'd be totally down. But they're just a bit above us, I think. Portuguese affiliate. Actually, that's a good shout. What do we have currently so we don't go to the same country twice? Because that'd be sort of pointless for us. So we've got Ivory Coast, Botev Plovdiv, Uruguay, Norway. That makes sense. We basically... So we've got the Netherlands, Norway, Uruguay, Bulgaria, Australia. Although that's a different partnership, in fairness. So Portugal we do not currently have. Nor do we have Belgium, but it feels like we're not going to get the best Belgian sides there. Bolivia? No, who am I kidding? We don't even know where Bolivia is. FK Sarajevo aren't bad, are they? Mexico. The problem with Mexico is I don't know if there actually were any Mexican clubs there for us. Some nations just will not appear on this yet for some reason. Bulgaria, we already have Bulgaria. Cameroon? Cameroon are good, but it's like I'd be worried that we wouldn't get the players. I'm trying to think of what nations have the highest... What we want is a nation... We want a club that's from a nation with a high youth rating at the same time as having good youth recruitment themselves. I think that's probably our best bet. Versus Leicester. Yeah, the game against City at the weekend was the 6th match of his ban, so he's out for Leicester and he's out for Liverpool. And then he's back for the games after that. Chile? Ah, not quite. Portugal do. The problem with Portugal is that... Actually, Portugal does seem good. If we could find the right club from Portugal. Let's just check Denmark, see if we can get Nordsjælland or someone like that. Nah. Have I seen this tool? No, but I'm curious. Let's have a look. Oh, holy shit. Okay, this feels like something that I can read in my own time type of situation rather than... Holy shit. That is intriguing, Adam. Don't have time to look through this now, but that I'm definitely going to read through after stream. That looks fascinating to me. Yeah, or B are okay. Is Odense 4-star, 4-star? Four-star, true. Denmark are pretty sick. Let's have a look at Portugal. If we can find a club in Portugal that suits our style, I think they'd be fun. Three and a half. I think we just have to go for the best one available for Portugal. 3 and 3.5 stars. Maritimo might produce a bit of good. Have I got Denmark still selected? I have, haven't I? 3.5. Let me just get rid of Denmark from this so we don't get confused. It feels like the clubs we'd want to be targeting from Portugal are not available to us. Nacional produced some solid play. Oh, hang on, wait, no, Passos. 3.5 from Nacional. Portimonense produced some bangers in this save. Croatia have a pretty hot... I still kind of like the idea of Hajduk, honestly. Millicao. 3.5. I think I still kind of want to do Hajduk, honestly. Croatia have a high enough youth rating as well, and I'd quite like to split it up a little bit. I think I'm going to do Hajduk. After all that, they have just more. Where are they? Because with Hajduk, we get 4-star, 4.5 star, particularly with this as well. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go with them. But at least they're still letting us have new affiliates, which is nice. I'm hoping that we can gain a little bit. We need to have a teensy bit more reputation, I think, in order to get those slightly topper tier sides. And I feel like we're so close to getting it. You think we'd be able to get some of those teams already now, considering we're worldwide rep, rich, all these kind of good things. But I want to be able to... Basically, I'll know when we've really made it, when we can actually start getting teams like Catholic Daddies as our affiliate side, because we still haven't really opened up any Argentina or Brazil teams yet, which is weird. So far, anyway. Almost non-existent outside the top 3. There are some... I don't know. We found some fantastic players outside of the top 3 in Portugal. So far, anyway. Gibraltar save, nah. Just never had any reason to, really, I suppose. It's just... I've always avoided the obvious... This sounds really like hipster, and so be it as it may. I've always kind of avoided like the San Marinos and the Andorras and the Gibraltars, just because I kind of like that. I feel like because they are so low, they tend to get a lot of focus on them because of that. And I like the nations and stuff that are just slightly above that, which is why I feel like somewhere like Latvia or Estonia would be a bit more interesting for me. Estonia particularly intrigues me. We'll see. Yeah, we won the Champions League last year, Bane, for our first time. And we're already up to hopefully the quarterfinals again, as things stand. Hello, Pogs. How's it going? Bosnia would be cool. Don't Bosnia... yeah, honestly. Do you know if you get players to your youth intake from like Brazil, they count as non-EU? So, basically, as far as I'm aware, the way that the game sort of treats it is that... Besides, non-EU. Bear in mind, non-EU is irrelevant to our league anyway, so I don't know about the club you're managing, but in Hungary, non-EU doesn't matter. In fact, there's really no rules at all, but it might vary from league to league, in fairness. Bane, thank you very much for the follow. I hope I'm saying that right. Liechtenstein. There was someone in chat that was actually doing a Liechtenstein save, I swear. I have also thought about the idea of just going completely off the rails with it and trying to do, like, do Scotland, but do it from, like, the Isle of Skye or something. Just build a club on the Isle of Skye. Maybe there is a club on the Isle of Skye. I don't know. 0... Not, really? A joke you do... Oh, my God. Imagine that. Oh. Iceland, maybe? I still think I'd rather do someone like Estonia. And I don't know why. I think it's just because it's... I don't feel like Estonia gets anywhere near as much love than somewhere like Iceland. I think Iceland's a more popular footballing nation just because of obviously the successes of the national team over the last decade and whatnot. I feel like Estonia could do with a bit of extra love. Now, obviously, we're 3-0 up from our first leg, so we're not in stupidly had enough summer leagues. That's true, actually. You're right. I'm fully on board with Hull of Kintyre. Is that a typo or is this a joke? I'm a huge fan of the Hull of Kintyre. No, Estonia isn't in the base game, which could be a problem. It's... Yeah. Shetlands of the Promised Land. Now you're talking. So, right, let me just set this lineup up because I feel like I had a plan here. God, we're so light at right back. But that's not really through any fault of our own, especially. The Abdul Nabi. I mean, say we're light at right back. We've got Darla, so is it really that? Are we really that light? Malero, Silva, Yaboa. Who are we missing here? Oh, Tex-Mex. Yeah, he can't play this game. Balkans Journeyman? Don't know about that. From Orkney the Twat. Okay, so with us being 3-0 up, we're in a pretty strong position here. But obviously, it can still go wrong, but I'm feeling fairly confident about this, given how we played in the first leg. Although, they're playing Seri as a centre-back. I know I've done that a couple of times in this save, not as a joke, but out of desperation, and yet there they are, Dortmund playing Abdoulaye Seri, a player with these kind of attributes as a centre-back. Now, I'm not saying he's not fine as a centre-back, but I wouldn't be playing him there as my first choice. Let's put it that way. They must be really dead as far as centre-backs go. But it is going to be a centre-back pairing of two former MTK Budapest players. Not starting enough games, he's been injured and out of that. Yeah, one of the problems we're going to have is... That's true, they only buy centre-backs. That is a good point. That's why they sold Yoshi. Hey, Cade. One of the problems we're going to have is because a few of our players have now got star player contracts because there was nothing we could do about it, unfortunately. The only way they would re-up their contracts was to sign star player deals. We're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it, unfortunately. It sucks, but it is what it is. Now, today, we actually... Yeah, star player is ridiculous and it needs to be looked at, especially if you play in any league that has any fixture congestion ever. It's not been as bad in Hungary because we very rarely get the 3 games in a week situation, but in Treaty, we would sometimes have 4 games in a week because of the summer leagueness. Oh, right. Okay. I'm still curious about this whole offset striker thing we're trying out, but we will see. I mean, it depends on how far we go in the Champions League today. Will let us know how far we're going to be going with... right. I think some of this stuff has reset. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. So, also, I think there's a Conference League game going on. Yes, there is. Haladash are playing at the same time as us today. Summer Leagueness. Yeah, that's the word. Morgan Lorenzo, thank you very much for the follow. Also, actually, before I go any further... one sec. I forgot about this. Sir Alento, thank you very much for the follow during the intro. Wouldn't want that to go amiss. So, yeah, this is now the latest version of Saz's skin. I finally got around to updating it. God, I wish this would specify. I wish that these weren't based on home and away, and it was done instead by opponent and you. So you could always have your opponent's formation there, and it wouldn't switch depending on whether you were home or away. Hall informed player. Hall informed the player they're going to be rested. So basically, with the start, you can rest star players, so you can have a discussion with them where you say, "I'm going to rest you for the next game." We actually tried that with a star player on the Treaty United save. Ironically, Emmett Doran. And he got pissed at us for trying to rest him, basically, even though he had like 60% match fitness because he played a game 2 days prior to it. It's pointless and stupid, which is why I, generally speaking, as a rule, refuse to give star player contracts. However, sometimes you can't avoid it because the game, rightly so, uses them in a way that it's supposed to, because obviously there's no point in them existing if players wouldn't demand them, but it's what comes with it that's a bit annoying. As Silver's through, and he's just going to square this. Oh my god! You know what? Never do that again, but at the same time, thank you for doing that. That was insane. Look at this pass, by the way. Was this Patrice? Oh, no, of course it wasn't. It was Navarro being the RPM of dreams. Look at this. Pops it up. Volley. Oh, my days. That is wonderful. It almost reminds me a bit of Kasami, but from a worse angle. That's incredible. What a goal from Brandon Silva. Now, remember, this game here is so damn key. Van Basten. Yes, that's much more like it. Kasami was too far away. Haladash are a goal down from their first leg. FM Online, there's been a lot of problems with that sort of stuff, Morgan, over the last, well, for as long as I've been playing FM, unfortunately. It's been a part of the game that I feel like gets neglected way too much from a development standpoint, but also, I guess, less people play it, right? Did I miss something there? I feel like I did. Star player was playing for a team with non-league. Yeah, exactly. It would be impossible. Right, so what we need here is just Haladash to do us a favour. If we're the only team left in Europe at the quarterfinal stage, I'll be very disappointed this season. Silva again. Oh, Brandon Silva. I'm telling you. I don't know. It seems this screen glitches out so bad, you know. I feel like Brandon Silva, I'm glad we stuck with him. He had those consistency issues initially, but as he's grown into the team, he's obviously got rid of those issues. He's got better and better. That's a terrible finish from Castillo, though. Max coaching badge. Yes, they can. So basically, as far as I'm aware anyway, we've seen this before. If you, for example, get a coach, this is something to look out for, actually. If you're looking at coaches and stuff to bring in, and maybe you can't afford the best guys, bringing in a guy who's slightly worse but has like 0 coaching badges or very low coaching badges could actually be a really good way of developing coaches, because they do seem to gain, especially coaches, quite a lot of attributes from doing their coaching badges. And the further they are down the pecking order, the more room they have to gain. What you don't want is a guy with like terrible attributes and he's got a Continental Pro license. You've got no chance of improving him. But yeah, we did it with a lot of our former players when we bring them back, basically. Oh, Montiel goes straight back to Malero here. Second goal would be nice, just to sort of make sure we win this game. How dare you, Half, put me on the spot like this? Like your stats. Oh, yes. No, it works for you as well. As in for your manager attributes. Yes, they will improve. If you're doing your coaching badges, say you're doing like a save where you start with really low badges, they will improve as well. I know this because whenever I do my like Outcast to Icon Journeyman saves, I always start with no coaching badges, and they will improve. There's certain things that will not improve though, and some of it's a bit annoying. Things like your adaptability and stuff will not improve no matter how many nations you go to and shit like that. Oh, Castillo's in, and he's missed the target again. Castillo, by the way, has underperformed his XG by 4 this season, and it's chances like that are the reason. Oh, I know what the clip was. I can already tell. That's poor. We've had the chances again today. But this is why I do wonder if there's a more efficient use of our players in places. And I wonder if once we're out of Europe this season, that looked like handball, honestly. We might be able to get something going there. It's a good effort over the bar. Haladas 1-0. Come on. So that's 1-1 on aggregate now. Turned out he just didn't want any. He's like Nicholas Bentner in our save. Darla's kind of had to become first choice right back at the moment because Donovan left and so did Hossam. 1-0. 1-0? 1-0. 1-0. Also, it worked better than A. Maybe. But he's getting in the positions. I mean, you're right, though. His performance has been poor, but I suspect that's mostly down to him missing the chances rather than him not getting them. Well, clearly, because we've seen him get them. But to be honest, given that we're where we are, it can't hurt to just switch it back, can it? Because we're 4-0 up on aggregate. This game isn't going anywhere. Oh, hello. So we'll go back to Poacher. Oh, no, I like that it remembers that, actually. Try that again. Also on an egg. It's true, you will have to, yes. I hope you're okay with that. Don't know if that's against TOS or not. We're going to have to find out, right? Oh, you love an egg. I had a bloody great time the last time we did Tactics Incubator, honestly. Well, I think we came up with a really nice system, and after all, it won us the Champions League. Come on, Howard. Oh, they missed a penalty as well. Striker offset. Basically, we're trying to allow a little bit more space for our on-running attacking midfielder. Also, with the Trek on this side, we like it when he cuts inside and plays these passes. And we feel like having him offset slightly just provides more space for it. We're just testing a few theories out, basically. Yeah, they've missed a pen. Europe is just not going to be our... What's the betting? That we end up winning the Champions League again, but with no one else to show for us, because all the other teams have absolutely pissed it away this season. We did upset. That's true, we did. Terra Nova! And I'm fine with that, Springtide. I will take it any day of the week. Yeah, Dortmund, we have quite a good record against Dortmund lately. We beat them in this exact round of the Champions League last season, 9-2. And arguably, we've actually played better in this tie. Come on, Haladash. Oh, they're in front. Felipe's done it. 2-1 to Haladash. Right. They need another goal. Set to career stats. Basically anything you like, V-Rugs. It will always default to career stats, but I'll show you my... Actually, what I'll do... Oh, yeah, we're going to have to get him off. What I'll do is I'll show you my setup, and then you can kind of copy it if you want, and then change. That will give you like a base one, and then you can change around what maybe you want to see instead. Yeah, screw it. Leave text mix out of this. One sec. Let me just show you Montiel's profile. So that's how I have mine set up at the moment. I do keep tweaking things. The reason I've got games played in position is mostly so when I'm looking at our lone players, we can immediately see where they're being used, as well as keeping an eye on things like comparisons with text-mex. But I like having an attribute analysis, though I don't really use it, but sometimes chat find it helpful. Pros and cons is huge for me here. Squad comparison. Behind my face is training, by the way. I realize that you never see it because there's no reason to, but that's what I actually have there. It's just really nice. Progress, career stats down here with season stats. I have bans, but that was, I think, again, it's because I wanted to look at a ban. I just wanted to be able to see it, really. It's a game theory. It's true. Shows a comparison to other right backs. Yes. Yes, you can. I have never actually done that before, but yes, apparently you can. It's usually me finding new things. Right, let's get that back across again. This tie, by the way, has late Lillstrom equalizer in like the 92nd minute written all over it. And you know it does. That's what worries me a little bit. Oh, the skin is so... I'm probably going to make a video within the next couple of weeks. I know I've said this before, but I feel like now's a good time, actually, to update people on what's new with this skin, because I feel like there's... Yes! Come on! Jalilu. It's one of our lone guys. Jalilu's just scored 3-1 to Haladash. It's what you love to see. I mean, we're obviously cruising through, but I would still like us to win the game on the night. Luckily, we already are. Malero, oh, go on, buddy. Oh, it's a poor effort. Oh, the green dot. Oh. I believe so, yeah. As far as I know you can, but I might be wrong. By the way, you know Labros actually is one of our top scorers this season, and he's one of the few players that's actually outperformed his XG. Oh, that's great. What a pass, and Bobby off the bar. Oh, I'm still concerned that Lillestrøm might grab a late one there, but if they get through Halash, I think they would really deserve that. Oh, please don't throw the lead away. Any extra points we can get in the Champions League at this stage is crucial for us, just because coefficient this season is not looking good. We just need as much as we possibly can. I think if we could get even close to 15 points, it's going to be a miracle. Even if we both won tournaments, I think we'd struggle to get close to 15 points. And I still think they could go quite deep. It will depend heavily on who they get next, though. Go on, second goal. Finish it off. That's not going to be a foul. Or rather, not going to be a penalty anyway. Didn't work in the base game. There was some glitchiness with it. I definitely remember something to do with that. Seri just had a 6.1 performance as centre-back there. That's what you get for when you play a deep-line playmaker who's an absolute classy merchant on the ball as a centre-back. They get what they deserve. Okay, so that's us through. The question is, who do we play next? Because I think there's another week of games that we have to, like, see through first. So that must be a second leg. United, knock out Liverpool on penalties. Yeah, it didn't seem to improve it much, did it? Spurs knock out Inter. Surprising, actually, because Inter were in the final last year. And we've got quite a good record against Spurs. I still think Barca go through, but interesting. See the clauses for the match rating in the match. No, I don't know about that, Eric Christian. I'm not sure. I'm curious about that, though. One thing Saz has added for me on this version of the skin, though, is you know when the last stream when we were trying to sign players and we couldn't see their second nationalities in the contract screen? Saz has added the second nationalities to the contract screen for us. Just little stuff like that I love. I also love that I can just say things out loud and then Saz just puts it in the skin. Those they have on loan aren't good enough to take them to the next level, so their squad risks being full of players and they won't take better players. No, actually, I think it's the opposite, James. Because a lot of the players they do have on loan are good enough to take them to the next level, and as a result, their squad... So I feel like what AI teams try to do is they try to sign players that are like fractionally better than the squad they currently have. And because you load them those squads out with really good players that they possibly couldn't have got on their own backs, they try to sign players then that are actually better than the players that you've given them, and because those players have now got better squads to join, they're more willing to join the clubs. And I think that's why it works so well when you have the loan farms. 3-1, they've done it. Let's see. Oh my days. Yeah, this is the kind of performance that we need to be seeing out of them. Zivkovic Felipe, Kotel Jalilu, banging in goals. Wonderful scenes. I don't know if their next draw will have happened yet, because obviously they're playing a game a day early. I don't know why they're playing it a day early. Really, I have no idea why they're playing on a Wednesday. Since we're the only other team... are we not allowed to play on the same day? Halash or something? Reorganization. I mean, anyway you like. Poland, Hungary are great fun. Ireland's good fun. Austria's much further up, but it's... I have it looking. So the only thing that will change if you update the skin is if you change your attribute colors. So I have my attribute colors set thusly, but when you update the skin, it will go back to default. So I had to go in and update them, but everything else stays the same. So I updated the skin before today. Harris, he does, doesn't he? But to me, Harris will only come back to us with two reasons. Either he refuses to go back out on loan to Halash, or he becomes so good that it's actually impossible not to bring him back. Because to me, he's still doing more good for them than he would be here. Because he still probably wouldn't get in the team ahead of Bobby or Castillo in the grand scheme of things. What was our actual second half performance looking like in that game? Because I'm just curious to see what we did like XG wise. Kind of just stayed about the same. Show you the thing like key passes or mistakes the player's done. Oh. Maybe. I've forgotten about that, but if that is in the game, then I'll be very pleased to use it again. Yeah, the reason people sometimes complain about the attribute colors I use, but it's just what I've always been used to, so... Just for Dortmund, oh good lord. Once Millie's cracking out the Photoshop. As they have found out, we've beaten Dortmund, I think, 4 times in a row. Todd's first youth intake was not great, I'll be honest. It was 1.5 stars. The player we got wasn't particularly usable either. He had like 2 determination, which is obviously going to hold him back. League is interesting for a lot longer. So, yeah, I agree, but obviously from like a content creator standpoint, I could just skip a lot of the league stuff. That's the way. One of my very best. That means it's probably going to end up in the recap video now, half. Because the first thing I do is I just look through named clips. Another Hoyd available. I don't want to get rid of... He's only had 1 year. He's got his contract. My plan really is to let Todd see out his contract probably. Since we get through season so quickly anyway, it'll be here before you know it. And then probably go for a complete meme because that worked for us last time. So Zagreb are through, Leicester are through, Nice are through, Villarreal knock out Porto, Fenerbahce are through, Olympiacos are through, Roma are through, and Club Brugge are through. That's Europa League, doesn't matter, none of us are in that. Braga, Panathinaikos, Feyenoord, Leeds, Marseille, Sevilla. Sevilla surely have got to be one of the favourites. Oh, Viking. Oh, by the way, there is some absolute monsters in some of the Norwegian sides. Because obviously I did a couple of weeks off stream, and there was a couple of monster players in the youth. They might have already expired in terms of the reports. Look at this. Mulder. Jonathan Nilsson. 5-star potential 15-year-old. He's only got 9 jumping reach. He's definitely a DM. But regardless, do you know what I mean? There's another club as well that had a shitload. Bodø. Look at this. Bodø have got 2 guys that are into that little section there as well. Norway are having an absolute golden generation this year. Because remember how good you have to be to get even a slight bit into the 5th star for one of our players. So I've got, these guys are all getting done by Gonzalo Sigris. He's in there. He's going to sort them out for us. Which one did that get us a team report on? Oh, it actually did do it from there. Okay, sick. Wait, there was a Sri Lankan in there? Not another one. Yeah, I've not... Also, how well are Tromsø doing in real life this season? Aren't they like 2nd in the league? It's lovely to see. So we've now got a partnership with Harjuk Split as well, which is nice. What's the betting they've done nothing for it at all, Christian? He's amazing. Hey, he's sweet music to my ears, I'll tell you. Oh, no, looks like we're on to Poland. Another one. Oh, yeah. With a name like that as well. Łukasz... Oh, hang on. Owowniuk. Owowniuk? Hang on. Oh. Owowniuk. Łukasz Owowniuk. Love that. 3rd after 4 games. Still pretty good, though, right? It's just good to see Tromsø doing well. To get you on the scout list, too. It feels like we're really finding some quality talent again now. Plus, now that we've got like 500 to 600 reports going around, it means that we're not going to always see the same teams every year almost. And there's going to be more time for them to generate players, which is exciting. Youth intake. Yeah, so Mauro Rodriguez was the guy from the youth intake. Yeah. He is a guy. He's very much a dude. A bit of those. Cool. So I think we've got to wait a week for the extra Champions League matches to be played. But what we would be able to find out now is presumably who they're playing. Come on. No? Oh, there's actually a proper draw for that. Well, I never. Lech Poznan. Go on, Lech. Give us another one. Another 4-star guy that's mercenary, but has some quite tasty attributes there. God. This is good to see. We were going through quite a barren spell. Of most of our reports, we weren't seeing any players that were kind of interesting, but all of a sudden, every report now is containing like one guy that's worth a closer look. Sure, I'll be football rankings. Literally, yeah. Oh, dear. It's going good, Sharu. Moving apart. Oh, how's that going? Yeah, that's true. It's our youth intake is everyone else's youth intake. We share around these parts, you know? We're very giving in that sense. Right, let's just... So do you reckon we should try back to a poacher, but with the offset, and then with that slight change in role? Maybe. Tex-Mex can come back in now. God, I love that front. I love this front 3, if you like, excluding Castillo. I like him too, but like, there's something really about those 3 guys behind that I'm just adoring at the moment, the way they're playing. Gonna be the next big thing. Oh, Christ. Who was it? Can you remember his name? Victor Alter has been sacked. Is that the technical director? Still 5th at the moment, Sharu. It's going very well, Dempsey. Ignoring this stagnation here, but that's just FM doing things. We're up to 5th. This year is going a bit naff, but we did win the Champions League last year, so there's that. Yeah, I can't remember the German striker's name, honestly. Next big thing. Fuck. As if it's just me, Springtide. You can't pull that one over my eyes. I know how chat look at Tex-Mex. Only just sacked him. Huh. I mean, what? Haven't Leeds just set a record for like the most goals conceded in a month now as well, which is kind of mad. From Leipzig. Christ, yeah, I kind of remember who you mean. Oh, you mean Urza, Serkan Urza. We'll check in on him. Basically, what happens with him is every time I get him alone, he keeps getting farmed out wide. 3-0. Ooh, is this the new one that shows the XG? It does. Love that. Tex-Mex with 2 more assists. Good shit. There was their own record as well. God, there's a lot of memes like that this season, like Chelsea's goal of the month competitions that they keep having to have with like one or no goals. I believe the Conor Gallagher's goal won it this year. This season. This week. Fuck me. Month. Christ on a bike. Budapest might have a chance of sneaking in the second. I mean, they deserve it. They've been so much better than Ferencváros this year. Lechia Gdansk. The first one for a while that hasn't actually had a viable player in it. About bloody time. 27. Right then. Right then. All right, oh no, we're going to look at Urza, weren't we? So yeah, he's still out. I think he might have lost that 5-star potential, potentially. Oh, damn. Where is bro going? Jesus. He's been a sort of bit part player at Ferencváros this season. It doesn't appear that maybe he had the level. He feels like one of these players that actually will probably still have like 4 or 5-star potential, but with form, because he is still an excellent footballer. But she's the right loan, it seems. Right, some of these. Let's get rid of, not get rid of, but like send around any players that aren't fully scouted yet. That'll save us some time, so we can deal with the ones that are. Okay. So, Brockhauser, cool name, not a good player. Makwango, I think we decided against him now, so we'll get him off the shortlist as well. Manuel Vega of Melgar, 19, but he's only £500,000. He's a loan farm specialist, right? Surely. Polonia. Well, Polonia are in the 3rd tier in real life, so there's not a lot to really see from them at all, sadly. One day they'll eventually get back up there, hopefully, but yeah, not likely. I think Manuel Vega's an easy punt at 500 grand, right? Like, he's a solid player. I don't know why I'm even asking that. Wow, that's quite a high wage, actually. Considering. This is my concern as well, because of us offering... Wait, can I get him for less than that? Okay, I'll take 400,000. Fair enough. That just seems like a no-brainer. Anyone that's under £1 million, especially when they're under $500,000, is just a no-brainer for me. I think Tariq Issa not a very good signing for us, sadly. We get rid of you. Cesar. Could be quite cheap as well. Jose Pedro Cesar. He's very cheap. Good on both feet. Is he worth a pickup for the loan farm as well? Just to keep plucking players into this? Don't know. The unambitious... He does have quite high determination, ironically. Next to Manuel Olis. I loved Olisado so much. Another Chilean. That's true. A different set of Chile daddies, but he is another Chilean. $350k. I think he's worth a go. It could be Anorith. To be fair, some of them have been wanting it for a while, but we obviously, a lot of those guys have been given contracts long enough ago that it wasn't too much of an issue. I've had a look through our squad. The only player whose contract is up now of the big guys in the next 2 years is Castillo, and we're going to sort of debate that in the summer, basically. That's true. They probably are going to do the whole, they don't want to leave it this time or whatever. So it's Gunderland. 6 foot tall and has 9 jumping reach. And I think he's just too expensive. I don't think I'd want to pay probably upwards of 2 million for someone like him. Temperamental. Okay tent poles. But not so sure on him, honestly. Have your own DNA. I have kind of like what we call temp poles that we look for. Like certain things for each position that I'm kind of interested in. So for goalkeepers, for me, I want aerial reach, one-on-ones, and reflexes. So not this person, basically. This man cannot do one-on-ones. He can barely sit in a room with another person, let alone save a goal. So yeah, I think that we're going to do Peter Larson either. Ah, dear. Hey, Reese. Hairline fracture. Oh, shit. Good God. That's a lot. But yeah, as for DNA, that's kind of the way I do it. There's certain things I like to have in certain players. So strikers, I want, you know, dribbling, finishing, first touch, composure, speed or height or both or strength or one of those things to kind of go with it. It looks like they actually... Oh, no. Yeah. I don't think Cesar's coming, is he? Oh, yes!
I know many of us think it, but I feel it's worth repeating as often as possible. Matt, you're awesome giving your time and energy to entertain us and bring us the wonderful narratives you do with these saves. Thank you less than 3. On a separate note, to the over 18 Brits in chat, remember to go out and vote in your council elections on Thursday. We're so often ignored by politicians nowadays, but this is the one time they can't help but listen to us. Remember, you need photo ID too now.
Obviously, you'll split this into 2 parts. Millie, that's very, very nice of you. I was feeling a bit rubbish this morning, honestly. I don't know why. I think it's because I had some caffeine yesterday and it was just a weird day. I actually took a day off as part of bank holiday because Pog is trying to get me to actually, like, I guess, respect bank holidays and actually not work on them. But yeah, things have been a bit weird for me lately. I've been sort of feeling a bit lost as far as content goes, and it's nice that people do still enjoy it, and that makes me happy. So voting for me is kind of a weird one right now. Not that we're going to get into politics, obviously. This is not specific to do with that. Because my local council, weirdly, and this is actually kind of a good thing, is actually not run by a major political party. It's a residents' association. Got so pissed off at the parties, basically, that they formed their own party and then absolutely swept the election. And the same thing will almost certainly happen again this year. Because all the signs I see out are for the local party and not the actual main parties. And that, to me, is awesome. Actual local representation for local people. I can't really see anything wrong with that, so I'll probably just be voting for them. Basically, they got pissed off because a lot of housing developers were basically doing some dodgy shit, and they decided that actually that wasn't going to be standing for that, so they just got into power and then stopped them. It's great. Luckily, because it's a council thing that's big enough that I can say that without doxing myself. But there you go. Thank you, V-Rugs. It's very kind of you. For me, I mean, I'm not standing yet, but I could. I couldn't. It would show my massive erection from signing these wonderful players. And we move. Big pay rise. No, friend, no. I don't think you do get a big pay rise. Live in Royston. Royston's not actually... No, it's fair enough. It's far enough. I used to pick Pog up from Royston sometimes. Enjoy your day, Inferno. Left the bed. No, you can't do that. Right, let's go. Anyway, moving on from politics now, because we don't do that. We don't do that kind of stuff around here. Let's go. What the? 15 grand a week, friendo. You are deluded. Man is actually deluding himself. Can I? Yeah, I thought that might work. 15 grand a week. But I know he wasn't going to get those league appearances for us, but that's brave. People look at... Oh, I see. Right, okay. I've never actually seen it. Right. The moment I see youngster on these, I'm immediately just like, that's a 5-year contract. Oh, only 2 years. Oh, it's because he's not 18. Damn it. We should better hit him with a 3-year boat, though, right? Yeah, I'll be fine. He wants less money. Disappointment. That's true, yeah. So council says, man, protected by law. That's the main part of my platform. Luckily, it's not too far of a walk. I'll probably do it on the way to a run, actually. When is it again? It's like on the 5th. Is that Friday? In that case, no, because there won't be a run happening. I think we've spent most of Friday working on the altitude video, probably. Oh, Nando's scoring some goals. That's nice to see. Taking his tally to 3 for the season. How has Man got 3 goals this season? Oh, that's why. Because they're not playing him as a striker. Who the fuck is Kekschmet got up front? It's not happening. And unfortunately, it does look like Pushkas are going to be returned to the top flight. Proceed to win 2 games all season and get relegated. That does remind us very much of Longford Town. That exact same thing happened on my other save, where we were so excited they got a tycoon and then they just barely ever spent any money. So let's see. But yeah, Pushkas are killing it now. Although they've lost a game. They were starting to get a bit further clear, but it's looking pretty likely that Pushkas will return to the top flight. They've only lost 4 games all season. Fabrizio's banked 25 goals. Imagine having him in the 2nd tier of Hungary. He's an absolute cheat code. Oh, Legia? Oh, Wukish. Is there something in the water this year in the youth intakes, chat? I swear to God. This is mad. He might have been from last year's youth intake, but we might have got their report before we saw him. Also, Domansky? Jesus Christ. He's not bad either. But I'm really excited about this guy. 15 tackling. The fact that he's got 15 tackling at 17 is exciting. And not only that, he's also full-on 5-star potential. Not even like the little bit of stuff elsewhere 5-star potential. He looks absolutely poggy. Gonzalo, do your business. What's his... yeah, fairly professional, solid determination. Good stuff. It feels like we didn't see any players like this for ages, though. And now all of a sudden getting loads. Not right, though. Yeah. But as long as he's got the good tackling, we can train him in to be whatever we want. That's the great thing about that. What was his height like? I didn't actually see. Not even his height, but like his jumping reach. Is there a Shamrock? I don't think there really is a Shamrock. Other than Kishvada are kind of frustrating, I would say. I.e., they clearly have the potential for great things. And have done good things, reaching a final of a European competition. But then they didn't qualify for Europe entirely and have regularly been on the verge of relegation at times as well. In fact, have been relegated in this save, which is the last thing you want, right? Millie with a gifted sub to Jogo Bonito. Jason, that's so kind of you, Millie. And you've been very nice to me today, friendo. I do appreciate it. It's cheered me the fuck up, honestly. I was not feeling good earlier. You know how easy I am to doubt myself. Remember the release clause, the agent keeps locking it in from the start of relegation. Unfortunately, if they're going to lock it in from the very beginning, there's... one thing I will say, Rog, is... Does it have the player promise? When you sign, there's that screen before that where you offer them the playing time. If there's something in there about stepping stones, if you take that out, it will massively reduce the opportunity for them to put those in. If you put a if they've got a stepping stone thing in there, it almost implies immediately that they're gonna have a release clause. If that's not the case in your situation, I don't think there's much you can really do about it. Not if they're red locking it from the very beginning, or even if they're yellow locking it, because they don't give you a lot of wiggle room. Oh, definitely, James. I just want to get the Seagrist about it. Yes, Legia did, which is awesome. Let's just do a bit of yoga to chill. Oh. I just want a Gonzalo. Can you really get this? Oh, yeah, because there was a trick with the yellow locks, wasn't there? I tend not to do that, but it's weird. I have these weird lines that I draw all over the place. It's like, oh, here I don't cross the line. By the way, this shirt looks absolutely lovely in this colour. Not enough football clubs play in this very specific colour of like purple. I feel like more clubs should play in it. I'm looking at you, even Fiorentina, because it's not really the same colour. This is more like a rosy purple. I love it. More of that, please. Oh, here we go. Next round. Come on, Benfica. Pull off a shock. Never mind. Spurs knock out Inter. Barcelona. I feel like we're getting Barca. Manchester United. Yes, it is actually. Oh, yeah, I know you can increase the value, but usually you don't get a lot of wiggle room. It's not normally the value amount that you can increase it between is like quite restricted, I found. Resolve talks a day after it and get it removed. Really? Intriguing. Boom. Yeah, I never even watched Dream Team back in the day, but here we are. Digimons, thank you very much for the 2 months.
Started any new shows recently?
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. So over the weekend, Pog and I watched this. I'm sure some of you will have heard of it. It's called Jury Duty. It's on like Amazon Prime /Freevee, but basically the premise is it's supposed to be a documentary about what it's like to do jury duty in California. But the guy who's the focus of the documentary is the only one in the show that isn't an actor. Everything else is run by actors. Like, the judge is an actor, the court case, every member of the jury is an actor, all the people in the side scenes are actors. It is fantastic. James Marsden is in it as well, playing himself, and it's absolutely brilliant. I would highly recommend it. And it's only 8 episodes. They're only like half an hour long each. You could literally do the whole thing in one night. It is so fucking good. Would highly recommend it. So what we're watching at the moment is a show called Trying. It's another Apple TV show. Would you believe it? With Rafe Spall and Esther Smith. It's about this couple that find out they can't have kids, so they're trying to go through the adoption process. If you like Ted Lasso, I think you'd like it because it's got the same kind of earnest style of delivery to it, really. No, it's so good, Digimos. Really, really good. Pog and I have seen the first series. There's some like annoying bits about certain characters, but Rafe Spall is fantastic in it. Some of the side characters are amazing as well. It's really, really good. It's just kind of very earnest. And I don't feel like a lot of shows do that. Mala's away. Is it really? That's awesome. Shrinking is great too. I've just been loving Apple TV lately. They've been killing it with some of their shows. It reminds me of Netflix back when they were trotting out the good shit right back in the day. Find out the actors that way. That's a good point, actually. Particularly some of the guys that were in, some of the people that were in it, obviously most of them were like kind of no-name actors for obvious reasons, but some of them had definitely been in stuff that I recognise them from. Obviously James Marsden, but that's slightly different. Seen all the yeah. I've never seen Nelja. Oh, Freaks and Geeks I've heard good things about. Plus, we're also watching White Collar still as well, but we just randomly started watching other stuff in the middle of it. What was we watched this other show called oh, fuck, what was it called? Oh, Extraordinary, the one about the superhero stuff. Oh, is this the Malaga shirt? Oh yeah, that is kind of like that actually. I don't hate it. Lucy, I love Tim Robinson. Nothing has made me laugh on a sketch show quite like that one with The Door for a long time. That lives rent-free in my head. Yes, I did, James. Obviously, I missed the race because I was streaming, but I saw it immediately after that because a friend of mine put it in our group chat. Mental. Probably the most exciting thing that happened in the entire race, wasn't it? From what I can tell from the podcast I've listened to since. I do like a bit of stuff. I'm all over the place with stuff like that at the moment. Like, oh, God. Millie's back again, dropping niceness. Oh, God. Seriously, Ingrid? Seriously? What a bitch. I'm going to read it myself. It's easy to think you don't deserve what you work for or that you aren't good enough. The important thing is to remember with imposter syndrome like that is you aren't the imposter. The dickhead is in your mind. Yeah, indeed. He probably does, yeah. I don't know how he could either. Oh, it's because of the... Right, I see now. She just says, like... I feel like she reads these messages out all the time sometimes and just randomly decides not to. Millie, once again, thank you for the 100 bits. That's very kind of you. I have to be more proactive with trying to see a doctor about this ADHD thing again. I'm going to have to go through the... I'm going to try and go through the right to choose pathway with Psychiatry UK, which can speed up the process a little bit of actually getting a diagnosis or at least a proper consultation. So that's my plan, hopefully, because I need to sort that shit out. I feel like it's costing me so much of my focus and work life that I feel like I could be so much more than what I am if I could just focus properly. It would just be like, yeah, because I have all these ideas and all these things I want to do and I could just never quite sort myself out properly to do it. I barely get to where I am currently, you know. Imposter syndrome. Well, I think one of the things that is, I believe, quite common. Millie can talk about this more than I can, obviously, with things like ADHD. Is something called rejection sensitive dysphoria, which I feel that hard, bruv. Like the word. Oh, really, Comrade? Is it the same thing, or are we talking about something different? Oh, this is a weird system that they play. I keep thinking they're playing Batty's Burger as a DM. Oh, seriously? Yeah. Has that improved, Millie, now that you've got treatment? Or is this just one of those things that you kind of just have to deal with? Could become even okay. I know. Just think. I could become marginally above average and then you'd all be like, oh, it's not my streamer. I'm here for the averageness. God damn it. It's less about individual places throughout to me. Well, so this is the thing. There's a charity in the UK called Psychiatry UK that you can apparently do, and it speeds things up from like year to 2 years with the waiting list to a few months in theory. So that is probably what I'm going to look to do. Velasquez, Bobby Tree, Lavros again. Good shit. Love to see it. And it's the semi-final of the cup as well. Helps me able to process it. I bet, yeah. Giddy with a slight injury too. Good shit. Oh, absolutely for fun. I bloody love them. It's like my bread and butter. It's my favourite type of save to do by far. So Bayern are through, PSG are through. Okay, this is looking quite a stacked semi-final. The question is, when is our draw? Is it the 23rd? I assume it is, right? Making the fact, literally, yeah. Like, I will have this random... Sometimes I'll just have a day where I'm like, oh, my friends don't like me anymore. And it's like, why the fuck would you think that? Like, there's absolutely zero reason for that in it. I think you're right. I think there should be more clubs with purple kits. But I think a part of it is because often kit comes from the badges a lot of the time. And with less clubs, generally speaking, having purple involved in their badges, there's just less room for purple kits, right? Well, yeah, I mean, I tried to go private, but I just simply couldn't afford it. I got in touch with a private doctor about this, and it was just I had some money set aside that I could use for something like this, and it was just too much for me, unfortunately. It's obviously, I knew that I'd be able to earn that back just in extra productivity, but I just simply couldn't afford the outlay initially. Hungary coefficients is 5th at the moment, David, in this save. Although we are under a bit of threat from France, but luckily we've got a big enough gap. Threat from Dan Flashes. Okay, I'm curious about that. Being polite, but literally, yeah. It's like, for example, when I went to that wedding the other week, wait, we're playing Man United? Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. Why don't we get a draw? I came away with it literally thinking to myself that I'd made a tit of myself. I was like, oh god, I've probably been an idiot here, and everyone thinks I'm like a moron, you know? It's, yeah. Which obviously, bear in mind, that's a really bad thing to have as a YouTuber, because YouTubers, like, we have to be able to thrive on criticism, and that's very difficult for me. Obviously, I've got better at it over the years, but it's still very, very difficult. Patrice, one thing we did, you look at this, he's 3.5 stars now. I mean, that big upward trajectory there is, oh yes, Patrice. I mean, what more do you want out of him? This guy is going to be a monster. Him and Montiel are going to be, I would argue, there's going to be a time in this save, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, maybe, yeah, about 3 or 4 years from now, where I think we probably have the 2 best centre-backs in the world, in Patrice Villaume and Montiel, because he's just getting better and better already. His jumping reach is up to 17. His pace and acceleration have increased by 2. Mentals are going through the roof, but that will still take time. Heading and marking both up. Passing up by 2 as well. To be fair, we have beaten Manchester United in the Champions League before. Spiraling. Yeah, I'm a... You know how bad I am for spiraling. Pog will tell you all about it. Ooh, an Irish player. Speaking of Shamrock, hey, he's not bad in terms of his... And Resolute. Pog's so good with me on that, though. I was feeling a bit shit last night, and then Pog was just asking me about my favourite books and stuff. She just takes my mind off things by making my brain work on other things, and it does work. She's an absolute goddess of a human. Genuinely. I don't know what I'd be able to do in life if I didn't have that woman. Genuinely. And then there's imposter syndrome of that as well. It's like, well, why is she... Why would... When, you know? Is it just Stockholm syndrome? It's probably just Stockholm syndrome, isn't it? Right. Oh, it's ages away. Oh, that's fine. We can play whoever we want then. For some reason, I thought the Man United game was really close. Oh, now they actually are playing Urza up front. Interesting. You've done well there. Indeed, yes. Exactly. Oh, bit of Perth glory. Oh. Very few teams could get away with a purple and orange stripe, but I feel like they have. Live free in my head. Indeed, yeah. That's what I will also say is that, like, no one could ever be as hard on me from, like, a criticism, be it comments or whatever, than I am on myself. Like, nothing I can say will be harder than that. And I do try to put it under perspective. Like, this year, things have been good as far as the YouTube side of things, which was my biggest worry. Like, monthly viewership has doubled on average this year per month on a monthly basis. Sorry, doubled at least. Usually the low month is the double, sometimes higher than that. Sub growth is between 4 and 6 times higher than last year, which is a staggeringly large amount. Good from Castillo again and Malero. Just, oh, the big lads just combining. Come on, you'll have to see it. The revenues remain... Oh, bugger me. Change that in a second. Revenues remained largely the same, but that was what part of my expectation was, that I was expecting a growth here rather than pure on revenue, but that's fine. And yeah, what a brilliant time to freeze. Lamborghini way. Oh, I know, believe me, Digimons, like the amount of people I get messaging me that stuff, and I just and this isn't like some kind of like blow my own asshole. What the hell was that sentence? It's just a thing that does happen, and I don't think you guys understand that it's a two-way street. I get so much out of this mentally. It's ridiculous. Like, a stream can have the ability to completely bring my day up. Like today, I feel so much better now. I feel more positive. I have a plan. Blow that anyway. Hey, maybe I have a... No, Matt, come on. You've learned to not always have to say the thoughts that occur in your head. Across on a two-way street. Oh, God. Flexible. I am anything but, mate. I can... Like, my hip flexors... I mean, I am just not a flexible man. Wait, actually, that's not true. I am, but only in very specific ways. It's just from too much sitting on this chair. Not just that, but too much leaning forward. I need to actually just pull my chair a bit closer so I can sit more comfortably. Because I'm always pulling my chair back like this, and I'm leaning forward like this. Why am I doing that? I can just slide my chair forward. Lose fun with the camera. I mean, how do you feel about that, Digimos? is my follow-up. Who is Sandash playing? Good shout. Who are they playing? Watch it be Leeds, probably Midget. Do you know what? I would say they've probably got the best draw there, other than if they'd got Panathinaikos. They're probably the only team that would maybe be slightly... That's good. Also, we didn't actually look at the coefficient, did we? 12.9. I think if we get even close to 14 this season, it's going to be considered a good year. France are still... Luckily, France are still so far behind us, it doesn't matter. Unless they go on a mad run. But I think it's going to be okay. This year was always supposed to be seen as a year where we get loads of money. Not us specifically, but the other Hungarian sides. Because obviously, with all those extra teams in Europe, they are going to start to have cash. And I'm expecting Corn Cluj. Give us another one. Oh, you love to see it. Both Germans as well. Also, what an inter... Oh, those aren't even that new. Cluj again. Coming up Cluj. Love to see it. Back to back. I think we did it. Yeah. I think there was one time that we did win the Champions League back to back. I think it was either Tromsø or did we? You know, I'm now not sure. Truth be told. If that is actually what happened. I feel like we must have done it once. Oh, yes. Look at that. And... oh. That is fascinating. So, So it will tell you the staff member that's done it, but only if you've specifically assigned them yourself. So, for example, Ari Papal did this scout report, but it doesn't tell you it was Papal here. But it will tell you if you specifically assigned them. That's fascinating. So at least we can tell who's had a Segrist report, though, immediately, and who hasn't, straight from that. And obviously you can just see it in here. But now we can filter anyone that hasn't been Segristed yet, right? End goal of the save is to make Hungary the best league in Europe, i.e. get us to the top of the coefficient charts. So, to the top of this, which obviously is insanely difficult. But that's what I've always wanted to try and overthrow them. And I feel like Gaffer is actually, if you've been following Gaffer's save in the Discord, he's getting bloody close to actually getting it. He's got number 2. And I think number 2 is definitely on the cards for us. We just need to have a few years of like stabilization, get the other Hungarian sides at a new level, and then they can push on. We just need to get them to the point where they're not going to get knocked out so quickly anymore. But it's their first real experience of being... Oh, I thought that was... I swear we had a guy called something Berger Hansen at Tromsø on my other save. Right, so that's all those guys. Wow, we've still got 15 guys left. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. 2 more A-rated players. Barga me. Bartechko. Łukasz Bartechko. If you specify a specific scout that's actually good. Steenberg Johansson. That's the one, yes. Epic Novel it basically doesn't hegemony, sadly. It grows a little bit, but the game is really, really bad at modelling it properly. Right, please, 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 please. Yes! Come on. Yeah, Steenberg Johansson was the guy. I think, it was spelt Stein, wasn't it? But I think it was pronounced Steen. I don't know. Regardless, we're having Łukasz. This would be like the 4th guy that we've picked up who's absolutely... Oh my god, for £2.7 million. You're right, he's very much more of a centre-back than a wide player. 6 foot. Does have 13 jumping reach, though, at least. And he's one of these players that can cover both, and we love those guys. I don't think we sent him to the goalkeeper, no. But obviously that's my plan when I want to, like, Stain. Oh, Stain. Okay, of course. Yeah, I actually remember someone telling me this. So we'll get you. Jonathan Nilsson. Natural Libero. Really? That is a rarity. Oh, wow. He's weird. That is such a weird set of attributes. Like, he's ridiculously good. I just have no idea what we would do with him. He's not a centre-back because he's not got the jumping ability and height, and he's actually not that great defensively. He's got okay tackling. He's got no strength, so he can't play defensive roles. He's not a right-back because he's not got any crossing ability. He's not fast. Get to 40. I'd say it's unlikely, but he is tall enough that would definitely make so. True, that would definitely improve in time, but you still see most 15-year-olds with decent strength in the game. We're signing him anyway, regardless, because I think, honestly, we punt on it. No, do you know what? we're in no rush. We might as well send Gonzalo around for a closer look, just to make sure that we get the full-on sign-off, because this is looking great, but if Gonzalo backs us up, then I want him. Hey, stat line! But I want to get Gonzalo's opinion on him properly. Any of the guys down here. So these guys can all go away, because they're just simply not good enough. DLP, maybe. I mean, his passing is already solid. More grist to the mill. Exactly. Right. Got these guys left now. Bosniak. I think he's too expensive to be a loan farmer at that. I think with the loan farmers, I want at least that little extra 4-star there. I think they'd have to have some real quality to be good enough otherwise. Yes, Hungary can pretty much buy players from wherever they like. That's the beautiful thing about Hungarian leagues. We can just buy players whenever we choose to. An hour in rush hour. That sounds horrendous. Although, weirdly, I'm the kind of guy that would actually not mind that, because I'd just be like, I'm going to listen to a podcast for an hour. And one of the reasons I like driving, and I don't know if this is... could be another ADHD thing, honestly. It's that when I'm driving, there's no expectations on me to do anything other than driving. You don't feel guilty for not doing something else. It sounds stupid, but yeah. It's why I really like late night as well. Expectations are less. Coronel. Bit expensive, possibly. He just has a really weird breakdown. Absolutely, Millie. I will definitely get in touch with you, because you've helped me so much with this already, to be fair. And yeah, I obviously hate to take too much of your time, but I know from like where I was feeling yesterday, I need to sort this, because I know I'm leaving so much potential on the table. I am at the moment feeling like I've actually got like 4-star potential maybe, but I'm not getting the game time and not getting any development because I'm not allowing myself to do so. Maybe that's a weird analogy. Yep, it is why I like running. I call it peditation, because it's like meditation for your feet. Like, that's why I love running. I mean, admittedly today, I woke up slightly late today, so I had to shift my runs around and do my Thursday run this morning of 6.4k, so I could do 10k on Thursday, because I would not have had time to get back for stream otherwise. Nick Smithmere, thank you very much for the follow. Gigantic Jensen is a striker, but he's actually tempo-wise. Composed rank, great. Low determination. It's not even the determination. That's the problem. One of the problems I have is I can struggle to bring myself to do things that I want to do. And that's, yeah. Peditation. It wasn't me that came up. It was someone in chat that came up with that term a couple of years ago. Peditation, which I've really enjoyed. Oh. What did I miss there? Have teams that produce good Wonder Kids? No, because... obviously I do, there's loads of them, but I don't do anything specific. So all I do is every year I look at who's actually producing youth intakes. Not so much the quality of the youth intakes, but who's producing the players. And then we keep an eye on them. And I'm just adding them more and more and more to our team reports now. So that's why when a team report comes through now, I immediately add the next year's one onto the end of it. So we're going to end up probably with 700 or 800 of these eventually. And it means that way we won't be going to the same team every year. So there's even more chance to find amazing players. Meditation? Oh, if I get like obsessed with something, I will focus on it to an absolutely neurotic level. It's ridiculous. But I sometimes get this with thumbnails. If I'm like trying to perfect a thumbnail for something, I'll just be there for hours. He's okay, but way too expensive for what he is, right? Yeah, more of a personality than actually, yeah. Can't let certain players on Wonder Kids go. I guess, like, I like both of these two, but I want to get the Gonzalo. Oh, actually, you are another one of these. Look, he's so well-rounded at 15. Again, not a centre-back. 5'9", 8 jumping reach. But I feel like Gonzalo on your media description be fairly professional mercenary. What are you implying about me? You're 100% correct. How dare you? And what is that? Ferrari engine with bicycle brakes. Yeah. Probably why I speak. Hey, chat, imagine if I got medicated and all of a sudden I spoke slower. People were like, don't like him anymore. Don't like him anymore. Alex Scott from Bristol City. Joao Pedro would be an interesting pickup. And Alex Scott is constantly talked about as being like one of the next big things, right? If you speak slow, I'll leave, yeah. I don't think that would ever happen, but you never know. Maybe it would allow me to speak a little bit more slower. Turn at HITC 7s. I wouldn't know because I listen to HITC 7s on double speed. He might be one of the slowest talking. Actually, no, he's not. There's an F1 YouTuber called Perspective. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him. I don't really watch him that often. He is the slowest speaking person I've ever encountered. even 2 times speed on his videos feels like normal speaking pace. It's remarkable how slow that man speaks. Got to get to the 8 minutes, I guess, but like Christ. I'd make so much more money, chat, because I speak so much slower, the videos would be longer. Right. Okay. This guy is ridiculously good. I'm excited as fuck about him. We will have to give him an international cap clause because there's no way he signs for us otherwise. 6-year contract. Relegation release clause. Boom. Lovely old job. Łukasz Barteczko, get in there. I can totally understand how, as a fast-speaking person, it must be difficult for someone who is not a native English speaker to understand me at times, and that just makes total sense, right? Because I wouldn't be able to understand someone that's speaking... Say, if someone's speaking... I don't speak a second language, so it's really a hard comparison. If someone's speaking really bad Norwegian really quickly, I would struggle. Oh, I was going to start a family on the other side. Can't afford a child. Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just little... I think there's a weird amount of pressure on people. It's like because you're in a committed relationship, ergo you should be married, ergo you should have kids, extra... Like, there's this set path for you. It's like, yeah, Pog and I have been together for like a decade. We're not married. We are going to get married, but it's just no rush for that. We're not concerned. It's not a question of commitment. I'm going to marry that woman. It's just that there's other shit that like needs to be done. We need to find a new place. Shit like that that's just more important for like overall stability, right? Pog wants to find a new job. Just little things that are just that little bit more important, right? My Bulgarian is like listening to the TikTok robot having troubles. Also, how's it going, Jigs? Sat means Saturday. So when I'm setting up the training schedules, this one here specifically is a schedule for one match during the week, and that match is on a Saturday. So it's just so that you can see which one you want to slot in. So it basically is based around there being a match on the Saturday. So that's why there's like a Wed-Sat one where there's a Wednesday-Saturday game and so forth. They're RDF schedules. If you want to download them and use them, they're brilliant. !training and chat, and you'll get like a download link and stuff. Have you told Pog that? Of course I've told Pog that. I finally got her ring size, chat. And would you believe it? It's a size M. Because of vocabulary issues? Yeah, I suppose. Occasionally I do get a bit verbose. What it comes down to is my brain tries to force out too many thoughts at the same time, and then that's why I tend to fall over my words quite a lot when I'm speaking and say things that are a bit silly. And I realise that's quite endearing sometimes because I just say stupid shit all the time. I wouldn't want to ever lose that. I'm trying to get better at being more purposeful with my speech. Ordering pizza soon then. Oh, maybe. Maybe, mate. In numbers. No. Not in the UK anyway. It's done via letters, weirdly. Matt says word. The word of the day is obsequious. Actually, no. The word of the day is coquettish. Because the last couple of books I've read, the word has come up way more than I expected. A word I've not really encountered in books very often at all. And in the last 3 books that I've read, the word coquettish has appeared so often. Wednesday set fixtures. This thing way better. So actually, Adam, we used to do that because mainly so that we could have all of the other European games for the other Hungarian sides or whatever safe we were doing appear on the side panel and we could watch all the games at once. But I actually kind of don't mind doing it the way we're doing it at the moment. We might change that potentially. And we're getting Łukasz. That is such a good signing. I'm so happy with that. Carrying a Wi-Fi. She's getting there. She's getting there. Starting at the ring size. Well, this is the thing. There's no really subtle way of doing it. So I simply said to Pog, go find out your ring size, damn it. If you want one, find out the correct size. There's bushes and I ain't beating around them anymore. There's an app you can get. So if you could get hold of a ring they currently have and you put it on this app, it will tell you. But the problem is any rings, I don't know if they're technically the correct size. You know? Who's that? New Romania star. 7 Carpen who's got a... Wow. That's massive. The Carp has his first Romania cap already. As much as we were saying we have those winger issues, I feel like the Carp's an absolute prime target for them. Why is he not being... That seems to happen sometimes. For some reason, the game will randomly like remove their training setup, because I definitely had him training that role. Yeah, very, very true, yeah. For those of you wondering, coquettish means like flirty or playful in a slightly sexual manner. Snoop Dogg's recipe book is a dish. Coquettish croquettes. Oh. I've seen it. It was obviously I'm back reading a rom-com book because I started reading a book yesterday called The Light You Cannot See, which is definitely not a rom-com book. But then I wasn't feeling it last night, so I just started reading another Varro McFarlane novel because it's just what I do. Wait. Oh, come on. Hang on. And Tune's got a cat for Portugal. We're just kingmakers.
Bring on the Bluegrass
No rush to go through the
Thunder!
motions. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's 17 years. Wow, that's incredible. That's even longer than Pog and I. We could, yeah, exactly. Occasionally we get asked, like when we see our friends who are all, well, not all of them are married. A lot of them are married, and obviously some of them, well, one pair of them have kids. But it's just, you know, it's not a big deal to me. Asti Red Devil, thank you for the follow. Enough to clear knuckle bumps, sit firm in the fashion. I don't know, comrade. I just don't know. This is the thing. You just don't normally have to think about these things, do you? Without a PC? Oh, damn. It's lovely to see you, Jinx. We've missed your wonderful Bulgarian antics. Oh. Just for playstyle. Yeah, I did think about that, honestly. Because Pog is... This is another one of the reasons why Pog is absolutely great, is that she doesn't want, like, expensive rings or anything like that, or diamonds. She just wants... Because it's not about that. She's not a particularly materialistic person. Hence why she wants it to be presented on that little tiny table you get inside of a pizza box. Oh, Bohat's just got his first cap as well now. Damn. Bruv does need to play more. I can't believe he's not playing at Kishvada. Oh, I agree, Ironic Christian, but you know how people can be. Half your park run medals. No! To be fair, I haven't done. I need to do a park run again. I haven't done a park run in like 2 years. Figures aren't cylindrical in shape. True, yeah. The old Domino's step. Oh yeah. Except not from Domino's because we don't. I'm in a feud with Domino's currently. Pizza box step. No way. Hang on. Did you actually? You know, that's amazing because that literally is what Pog wants. You know exactly what I mean. I've probably still got one. Oh no, no, no.
Fiona!
Turns out I actually took the bins out for once. Yeah, a bit of dutty pizza. Fernandez, thank you for the follow. Pick your rings. When Chateau proposes to you, Leaf, you'll be the happiest girl in the world. They'll collectively do it. Be like The Bachelor, except the opposite. They're the bachelors. Wait, hang on. How does The Bachelor work? Is it one guy and loads of women, or the other way around? I forget. Oh, that's true, Springtide. Very good point. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, you can wash it. No, I was actually going to try and get a like a silver pizza table thing made by like a, I don't know, a silverist. Don't know what the word would be. The superior bachelor. Oh, bachelor, of course it is. Yeah. Hey, Fraj. No, you're absolutely right, Fraj. And I think that's why the video was done much worse than I was expecting. Because I actually think it's a really fun video. Silversmith, that works too. I prefer Silverist, personally. But I think the video flopped. Not flopped. It's still like a 5 out of 10, which is solid. But I think it was because of the regens. And I think the fact that I put them in the title, that it was a regens. Because the CTR's gone up since I changed the title. But, you know, you never learn. It's all data, innit? Still enjoyed it, and I'm not going to stop making them. I'm probably going to do one, well, this month now, technically, where it's one player, but we follow their entire career, so I make multiple moves for them. We're waiting a long time for a Silverist. Damn it, I'll find my Silverist. So I guess the big question is, next gen, what are we saying? I think Zivkovic is too old for it. I think it's still going to be one of our players. It has to be, right? I reckon it could be Omar Ben Salah. So I'm going to go Haladash, Tunisian. That's my prediction. But, yeah, no, I still want to sort the one out, potentially to do one with plates. It's just I'm trying to find out the right logistics of actually how I could structure it with obviously having them on, because it would require 2 different recording sessions. Obviously, that's quite a lot for someone to commit to. Okay, let's go. Imagine if I got it right 2 years in a row. Oh, no way! Okay, that's insane. Also, Omar Ben Salah was number 2. But look, Zivkovic wins next gen 2 years in a row. Ho, 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 ho. Also, the Turkish Mbappe, which means it's a player we don't have, and it's a guy from Konyaspor. How many did we have this time before we go any further? Oh, that's less, isn't it? 1. That's 12. We had 14 last year, didn't we? Oh, Jalilu's in there too. What who's dropped off the list? Zoltan, though, still number 7. That's still very good news. Konyaspor have been killing it. I mean, Zivkovic is just... He is ridiculous. The fact that he's won back-to-back next-gen awards. I didn't think he was eligible this year. Yeah, Konyaspor, I mean, Konyaspor have done really, really well in this save because they went to... They won the Conference League. They got in the Champions League. Admittedly, did get dicked on by Újpest. Okay, I think most of these guys we probably already know about as well. Okay, so we already know about... This was my pick for who would win it. And frankly, at least he's getting football now. He's starting to look... I mean, to be fair, worst case scenario, we desperately needed a right back. Ben Salah could be the guy. But last year we had 14. It is a bit like that, isn't it? Right, so let's have a look at the Turkish Mbappe. Oh, bugger me in the face. Oh, wait, what? I don't trust that. Gonzalo? I think we just immediately send anyone we like here to Gonzalo for a proper look. Ilunga, he's going to be super expensive. Yep. Great player. Massively expensive. The Pretzel monster. Also, who's valued at 29 to 43 million, despite having never been under any interest as well, which is incredible. Alaku. He is actually killing it at Kekshmet, which is great. The next generation of our players is looking fantastic. Zoltan, obviously. Limos, he's at Benfica B. He's actually listed for loan, but not really our type of player at this point. Oh, a guy at Brentford. One for Daz. Ah, I recognise this guy. Yeah, I remember when he got sold because we were actually looking at him. Zoltan's doing... He's okay. I mean, he's still an excellent player. He's got 11 caps for Hungary now. He's developing nicely, but... And he's getting football. I just don't know what more we can really do for him other than let him continue doing that. It's the sad fact is I just don't know if he'd ever be quite good enough for us, but I feel like he's a solid player for someone else. There's Nando, obviously. Then we've got... oh my god, chat. A guy at Diambars. Who's still at Diambars. This is the dream. Players like this are why this is so cool. Watch him have like 2-star potential because we've already scouted him. He's on loan from Ferencváros. He's on loan from Ferencváros. The man is already playing in Hungary for Ferencváros. Fuck me. How did we miss him? They paid £150,000. Diambars are paying them 1.2 million to loan him. I mean, that is an insanely good pickup. Andre Sina is an insanely good pickup for Ferencváros. Look at the state of him. He's going to be a first teamer for them in a couple of years. He could be the thing that pushes them forward. The player that gives them that extra notch. That's true. When we... Vando. Evando. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that our own league actually... Oh, Matavina. I think I've looked at him before. Regardless, I kind of want to have another go. Give some extra money. They've got loads of money. No reason to do that at the moment. Plus, it would cost us so much cash. Eugenie. These guys are all at big clubs. Lowry. We'll scout him anyway, but the problem with these American players is that often you end up paying way too much money for what is essentially quite an average player. Although, tent poles on Lowry do look pretty good. Born in Los Angeles. Alex Lowe and Montoya. Now, he's insanely good, obviously. Sometimes you get lucky with like a random really low release scores on some of those guys. Oh, okay. Here we go. Johan, and he's also on loan from Ferencváros. We already knew about this guy because I remember we saw them sign them. Sorry, we saw them sign him. He's very good as well. Love this for them though. There's Higa, Selim Higa, definitely got surely Turkish second nationality. No, okay. Gonzalez, Klagenfurt, on loan from Bayern Munich. Okay, never mind. Haladash guy again, Yanchev again. Guy called... Oh, I was hoping his name would be James Joyce or something. Cowling. Is that Levi Cowling? Oh, Luke Cowling. Carpenu. Guys, hang on. Another guy on loan from Ferencváros. Have they got their own loan farm? Because I'm noticing. Obviously, we've got loads. How many players in this play in the in our league? It feels like over half this list is just players that either play for us or Ferencváros. Todorovic on loan for Ferencváros. That's incredible. I did actually, Banks. It was nice. It was pleasant. Other than obviously Fulham losing, but that's standard. And obviously Tim Ream breaking his arm and looks like Pereira breaking his ankle. Makoviak. Ah, yeah, he was one of the players we decided not to. Yeah, it'd be cool if we could see their loan list. I think we could look at their squad and see who's, like, not there, maybe. Ashraf? Okay. I'd say he's worth a little look for a week with Gonzalo. They probably do have some decent ones. The Saga, I think we looked at him before. Lernstrom, that's the Finnish dude that's really good. Oh, hello. Luca Nogueira Gonçalves. He's new to our information. He's a, Belgian Luxembourger. Love it. Basically, Banksy, we got through to the next round of the Champions League. We're playing Man United in a bit. We're just sorting out the... We've also found some absolutely ridiculous players again. And there's literally a Ferencváros guy in here as well, who's actually at the club as well. Gael Mutombo, who they got from many... Their scouting is actually stacked. They're finding players that even we're not finding, which is crazy. In fact, let's just see if we can have a look at their... Yeah, so... Players they've got out on loan. Todorovic, Medjahed, and Sena all out on loan. They've got Sagdal, of all people, out on loan. And Ian Martson out on loan. But their second team as well, they've got Simon, Dunavski, Olarte in there, Fabrizio as well. They've got a nice little loan screen building up. Ridiculous players. The biggest one, I would say... Because I think the other guy we haven't actually signed up yet. The first one we found was this guy here, Łukasz Barteczko. 5-star potential. Everything you could possibly want, really. 17 years old, £2.7 million. Very few players that actually remain 5-star potential when fully scouted. Oh no, MTK starting the second tier. There's also another guy we're looking at, but we haven't got the full scout report on him yet, from Mulder, who's got 5 and that extra bit of star potential as well. Which is what we're waiting on. We're waiting for Gonzalo to get back to us about the Norwegian dude, or I think he was... Yeah, he was a Swede that was at Mulder. Some youth contracts there. Yershlid. Oh my god, now Yerslid's getting caps. We actually had quite a big bid on him at one point. I maybe should have taken it. Now I think about it. Right, so we've got this game here, and then it's Kishvala then Man United. Cool. Yeah, I think Ferencváros are building something sick. But I think the cool thing is that they're clearly signing players for the future and developing a team. And they've got... Yeah, we are, I think, signing Peter Andre still from them, because he was in their youth intake this year. But they're building something delightful. And my hope is that with a couple more years of the other sides getting some good money, hopefully Újpest continue to be the third best side. Chat, it is a blessed day. Holy God. Also, Hungarian. 5 guys here with 4-star potential. And then above that, another 5-star potential player. Alexander Radovanovic. Hey, chat, look. It's a giant Serbian centre-back. With a bit of actual ball-playing ability as well. Driven personality, 6'2", 14 jumping reach. Great determination, he's brave. Ho, Gonzalo, do your thing, bud. We are killing it today. Some of the players we're finding is... We had a disappointing year, I think, with some of the recruitment last year. And this season, it has been stacked. God of Mysterious God, we did. We did all the jokes. So I think it's wrong. They're true. Maybe it'll come with time. CM or DM, though. I mean, well, he's not... If he's playing for us, he ain't a CM because we don't use one. If he's a DM, I don't know who he's going to get in the team ahead of. I feel like he's probably still more of a centre-back. Oh, God. Yeah, we always wanted that. Cheers for that mentoring. Although maybe we will use a CM. You never know what we'll end up doing when we potentially make our new tactical setup. Because I would like to try and build a tactic that is going to allow us to absolutely walk goals in the league. And be a bit more aggressive in certain games. While still being able to play the other way in Europe if we need to. FK Partizan, go on. Do the bit. Oh my days. Another Hungarian dude. Right, so these two will do. They've also got Strenia Max. So Mishkovic looks decent. Yeah, well, that's why we send him round to our friendo Gonzalo to get a proper look at him. Another Serbian centre-back. Andras Kundrak. 6'4", 14 jumping reach. 15 tackling. Almost straw ninja. Well, now we have to call him that. Mike and Holly. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Oh, wait, hang on. One thing I don't think I did on the... This is one thing I can't forget to do. Is to get the re-ups on some of these team reports while I'm thinking about it. 7 heading. Yeah, but that can come in time. It's his tackling. If I see a centre-back or any defender that's got good tackling, the other stuff I can get. It's if the tackling's not good enough. He's 13 stone. Damn, he a big boy. He weighs as much as me. Michael Holford. Oh, I got excited for a second. Nope. Okay. I don't know how we've got so far into the save without either of these two genning. This is season 30. Still no Michael Holly. Mad. Better midfield. But again, it's not about... It's all very well saying, hey, they'd be better as a CM. If we don't play a system with a CM, they're not going to be better because they won't be playing. It really is as simple as that. I'm not going to retrain a player to play a role that we don't use just because it might make them a better player, but they won't be a better player because they won't be playing any football. It's just the facts of the matter. Send the two guys to Secrets. I think I did. Yeah. Hopefully. Let me just see if... No, none of these reports are Secrets reports. Did I scout the centre back? I think I did. Right? Did I not do that? Oh, maybe I didn't. Thank you. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I thought I didn't. For some reason, I thought I had. I get confused sometimes. Right, okay, let's work through some of these. Oh, there he is. Hang on, that one didn't say Secretist. So it seems to sometimes work and sometimes not work. Okay, that's not Saz's fault. That's just the way FM is, isn't it? Also, you'll notice there's a Dino Batumi player in there. He's doing really well in the Europa League, so I figured it was worth a look. So Patechko we can remove now. Somebody comes with 3+ squads to scout. So what I would say is most clubs don't need to scout every single team. But one thing you also can do is what I do at the end is with that whole... I don't know if you've seen that, but in the video, once I've scouted it, I go in to the list. I mean, I don't do this now because I've got a new system, but what I was doing was... Oh, wrong one. Adding squad size, and then any squads that was 0, for example, like these guys here, I was then just deleting because it saves your scouts some time. Now, this time around, I'm not doing that because it doesn't actually save us that much time anymore. But, yeah. But that's why one way you would sort of avoid that. Right. So, Adenia Sam, not happening. These guys are below the threshold I've set as kind of workable for what we want. Get those guys as well. Kevin Krug is a similar story, and he's D-rated too. Right, the rest of these guys, though, intriguing. Okay, let's get straight to these guys too, because actually, you know what? This guy here, Marco Platzer, striker, wanted by Dortmund and Bayern. Not overly expensive either. But first, Jonathan Nilsson. We're signing him, aren't we? I have no idea what we're going to do with him, but I think it's... If Gonzalo thinks he's also got that, then there's really no reason for us to not sign him, even if he does cost us a little bit. Watch him not want to join for us. Ah! New contract for him. Shit. All right. How could he have signed just a new contract? He's 15. His contract was in February. In that case, we'll shortlist him, but we have to sign him. What about Platzer? I mean, he is not bad either. It might be what it was. No, I don't think he's eligible for a pro deal until he's like 16, surely. Probably still. Yeah, we'll come back to it. As long as he keeps coming round. Yeah, it might be that he's actually come through the youth intake like literally days ago, and maybe the game hasn't even... He's not even got like a contract with them yet. Because we got in there so fast. Is he worth us sending to Gonzalo? For a last little look at. Oh, they did, yeah. Letha Prodersdorf. Great name. Do you know what? Honestly, he's good enough that I don't feel like we need to worry about what Gonzalo thinks particularly. I think he's worth a go. If he'll actually talk to us, of course. Yep, okay. Plus, with him being Austrian, and only Austrian, born in Donnerskirchen. Love it. Man loves a kebab. Yeah, good determination too. Solid-ish tent poles, but finishing isn't as important as composure. I think for the price, he's going to be value. Unless they come in and say we want like 8 million, as sometimes they will do. Still a bit higher than I would have liked, but honestly, if we get him for 4.2, I think he's worth 4.2. It's very rare that you get Austrian players, honestly, for any kind of good deal. Declare interest. The problem I often find is... Player becomes wanted by teams in your league, or are you trying to save them money too? I'd rather... The thing is, I'm concerned that it's... If we buy him and then we loan them to them for 7 years, I feel like that saves the money that they can then spend elsewhere, and that's a better way of doing it, but it is kind of a mix and match, isn't it? Bulgarian special. Thank you for the follow. Already speaks Hungarian. Does he really? He's just ready for it. He's ready. Okay, so this is actually one of the centre-backs who's already extensively scouted, incredibly. I presume that's because he's 19 and maybe we looked at him in the past. He's not a centre-back at all. What am I talking about? This is Straw Ninja, which is what we will be calling him. I mean, be silly not to, really, wouldn't it? I see no downside to us spending 2 and a bit million on the Straw Ninja. Plus with it, and look at the wage. We've got so much cash floating around at the moment. 1.3 million. For 1.3 million, he's a bargain. Strawberry Ninja. Oh. Sorted. Oh, welcome in, Bulgarian Special. How's it going, friend? Thank you for joining us today. We were just signing a Strawberry Ninja. No biggie. Cheapest chips. Yeah, great signing for him. See, these ones now are heavily going to come down to, are they worth the money that they would be demanding? Because these are all like loan farm potential players, but they need to be cheap enough to make them worthwhile for the loan farm. So we've got Wukish here, who, I'll be honest with you, as cheap as he might be, I'm just not overly convinced by him, honestly. And it might just be that I have this pure hatred of inverted wingers. Why are we signing these players? Because we are trying to make a football team better, generally speaking. And that guy was a very good player. This guy, not so much, which is why I'm not going to sign him. So we've got this guy, Christopher Spiekeland. He would probably just be too expensive, right? He's actually not awful. Like, attribute-wise, he's good, but I think he's going to cost too much. For the memeage. Oh, no. No, Strawberry Ninja was decent. Like, he was a decent player. I think this guy would just be too expensive. Yeah. He has to do something to earn the emote. Means I could probably get... I don't want to pay 2.5 million for him, honestly. He's not bad, but... we've got Herning. I think he's just a bit too expensive again. When you look at how much some of the guys we pay for the other ones, I feel like Seaman here is just a bit odd. Not overly convinced by him either. What about Nicholas Perez? He's a bit cheap. Well, a bit cheaper. Although his wage demand looks a bit obscene, unless he's really good. He is driven. If he's under $1 million, with that determination and driven personality, he could be useful just because I feel like he would at least develop into the player that... Never mind. Okay, that's a rarity. Oh, the mid-journey will be all over it. Yeah, he's... We'll acknowledge him for now. Radek Tribil. Great passing. Really good passing. Solid elsewhere. Fairly determined. Good determination. Consistency obviously is low because younger player. It will depend entirely, as always, with these things. Oh, no. Okay. New contract. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep him on the... Basically, the reason I've acknowledged that is because we'll probably just end up scouting him when we get a team report on them next time, and that way we'll have another chance to sign him. So, right, if we get Platzer, though, I'd be very happy. I feel like he's got great loan farm potential, if nothing else. Plus, the fact that he's Austrian means we can hit him with a international clause as well. 6 years. Boom. Lovely old job. Loan back. He's 17, so no thank you. We want to get him in as a homegrown player. And now, Strawberry Ninja. Youngster, even... Wow, really? Oh, damn. Bro is getting an 8-year deal. Yep, 8-year deal for Strawberry Ninja. It might be that he's not actually as good as this, and we probably should have waited for Gonzalo, but regardless, I still like his attributes enough. Damn, we're actually picking some players up today. This is good. How are we going to park the bus if we don't have the bus? You didn't think this through, did you? I think the other thing, I just really like this scouting method because it just feels so much more relaxed. It feels like we're just getting everything handed to us on a plate rather than having to do as much digging to find the quality. We're just sort of allowing us to bring all the diamonds to the surface, which is nice. Radnitsky? Nearly. I mean, it would be mad if we had yet another ridiculous report, though. But that Serbia has come up big. Serbia, Poland, and Norway in this save this year, anyway, have had some absolutely banging youth intakes. Who's the top scorer on loan? Is it still Radojicic? No, it's Fabrizio with 29. It's crazy that someone like Radojcic is 2.5 stars. He can bang in 24 to 30 goals a season for them. And in Europe, consistently do it as well. We've got levels, chat. Alaku's in there as well with 7 goals this season. I'm excited. Some of these guys are definitely going to come back. At some point, anyway. Bayern Munich, yeah. And now Polden's getting caps for Norway. Yeah, this is not helping our wage budget, but hey, they're clearly good enough. Dunajska Streda? Ah, not quite. Oh, no, this is a different team. Actually, it's a Slovak team. Okay, interesting. They must have produced a few. There we go. Strawberry Ninja. Have that. This is good. I'm feeling it. It's a board game. No way. Oh, yeah. Anyone up for a game of Strawberry Ninja? Now you suspect that the notorious Strawberry Ninja is roaming around your pumpkin patches and apple trees. Your brave kitty is already out in the garden trying to catch the little culprit, but it's up to you to help him corner the sneaky little thief. Hopefully he's going to thieve some goals. Ah, here's Dunajska Streda. Not quite. Boom. Fruit Ninja, those were the days. Being unhappy with rejecting bids from bigger teams. Yes. So, basically, you're never going to be able to stop them from getting the initial pissed offery. If it says, they'll be unsettled, blah, 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 that's not going to happen. You're never going to stop them from coming to you to have a meeting. But there are several things you can do. If the player is a team leader or a highly influential player, mention that in the meeting. Do the thing like, you're a team leader or you're a highly influential player. That will 9 times out of 10 shut them up. However, one thing I found that works a bit better than that this year is if you've got a player that you know that you can always get to stay when you get into that meeting. So, for example, one of our captains, Montiel, he's always happy to stay when you turn them down. But you get to do a meeting, basically, where you talk him out of it. If you get that done nice and early in the window, then every time a player comes to you, just be like, well, Montiel, or ex-player, said they'd stay, and almost all of the time, if that player is a high enough rep in your squad, they'll just be like, yep, sorry, boss, it's fine. That's what I've been using lately. I'll deliberately piss him off at the start of each window, just so that I can use him no longer being annoyed as an example to the other players, basically. But to the Wallace and Gromit film. Maybe, yeah. How many players out on loan? At the moment, we have currently minus 115 players out on loan. We've broken the game, unfortunately. Another scatter. We'll have to send Gonzalo around to play the board game, I think. That's how we'll get a true report on it. Big Sam at Leeds. That's going to be fun as hell. I mean, they need something, right? Yeah, we're finally entering a bit of a barren spell in these reports, which makes sense. We've been very fortunate as of late. To the Grim of a brother, that would be great. The Brothers Grimm. I'll be all over that. Whole team meeting for what? Oh, title battle. Lol. Play a board game? Impacts how they play. It drops their training. For sure. And what that will... I don't know how much it affects their playtime, generally speaking. I feel like it does a little bit. It has to, right? But obviously you want them training as well as possible because especially when they're younger, it's going to hurt their development if the players are not training. If they're putting in if they're putting like a 5.6 in training as opposed to like a 9.5, it's going to take a hit to their development. So I think it's best to always try to keep them happy if you can do. Now, obviously not always possible, but yeah. Yeah, it will affect the morale for sure. I don't know if it's as big an effect as people say it is. I think sometimes people massively overrate how much certain things matter in FM, but like, especially now, I've really come around to the idea that I just don't care about consistency in players at all, especially if they're really young. Well, I'm super happy to sign a player with bad consistency, especially if they're young, because they almost always seem to shed it as they grow anyway. Which makes sense, because generally speaking, you tend to get better over time and you will become more consistent. So we want rotation here. Which means, you know what, fuck it, Milovanovic. Why not? Ojeda. Mihail. We'll do Mihail. And, also Carpenu, maybe. If he's actually available for once. There we go. I'm loving that little 3 there. Navarro obviously can't start. Yeah, no, dislikes big matches. Could not care less. Because the game only counts like cup finals as big matches, which means that you're so rarely likely to be playing in a big match that it's completely irrelevant to me. So I couldn't care less. Literally, the only thing I care about, honestly, as far as cons go, that isn't to do with their attributes specifically, is injury proneness. That's really... Red injury prone is probably the only one that will kill a deal for me. Even if they've got slightly orange injury prone, I'm not... If they're good enough, I don't care. Bear in mind, like, De Bruyne has really bad injury proneness in this save, and albeit he's struggled a little bit at times, but he's still a very good player. Derbies big matches. It might do, but most of the time, if this is FM, your team probably won't even have any derbies, or you're certainly not likely to get new ones. Montiel suspended. Is he really? We can find out. Yep, you're right. Cool. So that means he can start. Fickle. There's very few personalities I don't want. Mercenaries. I'm not a big fan of mercenaries. Temperamental isn't ideal. I don't really like low determination, as the personality, but usually that comes with it. But those are the only ones I'm like desperate to avoid. Casual isn't amazing either because you're not going to get very good training out of them. But if they've got anything like determined, professional, resolute and driven are my favourites. Obviously, if you can't get model citizen, model this. The ones I love are resolute and driven. I feel like when you get a player with resolute or driven, they're basically guaranteed to develop to the best of their ability at least. Not all the time, but for the most part, I'd say. Yeah, left back actually is a bit light for us too, honestly. Perfectionist is good. Occasionally, perfectionists will cause you some problems, so you can't praise them for getting international caps. They're one of the ones that will kick off the most, I find, with international caps. because they're perfectionists, they don't really like praise very well. I can change you. I mean, the reason I don't do anything is because I refuse to touch mentoring, so I'm just like, if you're not already of a good personality, I'm not super... Well, I am super interested because I don't care too much. Handed a transfer request because I've been promised a loan, but we rejected all the loan offers from Brazil and no Hungary. Usually, James, when that happens, I find that just telling the player that there was no good... they weren't offering the right... Oh, no, because he was rejected, not you. Yeah, I don't know then. That's bizarre. Yeah, Terranova's just going to have to play, isn't he? Frustrating. I think fullbacks in the summer, maybe spending a bit of money on a really competent left back would be nice. Although, actually, with Liam Skinner and then Rivadavia, once he finally learns to play that role, Darla can move back over to being a left back again. Yeah, low determination is crap as a personality. I really don't like that because it shows a lot of things are wrong. Vojislav has scored. That's good. Nice to see him actually scoring a goal. Ojeda had another great time. We're still not quite twatting people in the league the way we were, though, and I think we need to look at that. But right now, it's not too much of a big deal. I don't know. Someone could look in the editor and find out. Now Montiel's going to be suspended in the league as well. God, he's like Polinia. Resolute means they have average or worse pressure. They have high determination. I think what it comes down to, though, is if I have a resolute personality, I'm interested because, from my experience, players with resolute and driven especially will almost always seem to... They train ridiculously well, and they almost always seem to produce quality in terms of they will hit their marks and they will get to the potential they have if you let them play. So that's why it's one of my favourites. I'm not super bogged down in the minutiae of things. I just know what I've seen. And a lot of that will be apocryphal, right? But, you know, what isn't? Science, I suppose. I don't really like to min-max too much if I can avoid it. I go by vibes. Mostly just vibes. Yeah, and Wusu with that low determination was just appalling. Yes, they drew against... oh, Christ, who was it? I've actually forgotten who it was. Yeah, Resilient is a slightly rarer one. I think it has slightly smaller brackets for actually getting it, so you don't see it as often. Midtjylland, yes, and that is later this week. Nice. I don't mind light-hearted. I mean, they're not amazing, but I still feel like with the right group of players, it's not going to be the be-all and end-all. Oh, hello. So, looks like my boy Gonzalo's got some updates for us. That's intriguing. Oh yeah, anything with professional in it. Or determined, honestly, because that at least I know I'm going to get good training out of them a lot of the time. These guys are on the borderline, but they're also D-rated, so I think I might just get rid, and probably Christian Listad as well, since that's a Seagrass report too, so we should have a good idea. Yeah, so this is Gonzalo's report on Listad. I think that Christian Listad here is very consistent actually for a young player. It's impressive. I think he'd cost too much. And for that level of ability, I think that it's not worth... The juice is not worth the squeeze, as they say. Games gone. We haven't actually played a lot of games, honestly. We had one game against Dortmund. We're about to enter the next round against Manchester United. We've mostly been spending the stream picking up some ridiculously good players. Yeah, I wouldn't pay 4 million for him. Not when we've seen some of the other players we found for 4 million. Right. Smiljanic. unambitious, injury prone. He kind of has a... Also, one thing I will also say is if they've got loads of them all together, then I'm a little bit put off by it potentially. And I'm not super enthralled by him, honestly. Yeah, those values are ridiculous. At that point, why even bother, right? That's another good point. You're right. We've actually found a lot of people, so it's not really a big issue if we say no to someone because there's so many other... Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's almost like it's a half-finished feature. That was my kind of opinion when I saw it. It feels like it's weird that you can't say, nah, I'm not interested now. In fact, that'd be kind of cool for the dynamics so that maybe they actually go, oh, well, maybe, you know. Demansky was that keeper that we... Is this a Segrist report? No. I want a second opinion on him because I like his technicals. And I want to see if Gonzalo maybe thinks slightly more of him than this other guy does. Prefer him. Uri Levy, I think we looked at him last year as well, didn't we? But he's now ventured into the realms of good enough person, good enough attributes, good enough price range for me. Yesterday was crap. It was still better than last year, but it was still pretty poor, unfortunately. Oh dear. You see a young prospect you like and realise remember later plays for you already. That's happened a lot, and I think it's just because we have so many players that I literally have forgotten several times that the players... We've got players that... I can imagine the dressing room is so big that people are getting changed in the hallways. It's basically Chelsea in so many ways. Yeah, he's very much of the why not range, isn't he? Especially if... I mean, it says he's going to be under $1 million, and if he is, like, emphatically under $1 million, then I'm down. Fuck it. Just without the losing, literally, yeah. Okay, new guy. Per Enric Fossi Orphan. We've got enough orphans here. Not really a big fan of you. Fikret Unlo. No error reach, no one-on-ones. Temperamental personality. Yeah, absolutely not. Oh, this is that wingback that was quite highly rated. If he'll sign for us, then yes. Oh, there was a player that we tried to sign from Belgium. His name was literally Orphan. That's why I was referencing it. If he's that cheap, then he's puntable. Now, whether he'll actually talk to us, I don't know, but £36,000. They want a friendly too. That's fine. Oh yeah, I reckon what we should do is build our own like apartment building on the premises of the training ground. So Ben's Nemeth was the low determination. I think we'd have to pay a lot for him, and I think we've got enough good that we don't need him right now. Jörn Andresen, a natural Metzala, 16. Okay. Oh, hello. Attribute-wise, really tasty. I want a proper second opinion on him, though. I like this new system. Get ourselves interested, then send Gonzalo to break our hearts. But as far as I know, these two are both signings from... Wow, he's 19. They still... He's very good. Burj Khalifa. It would have been January. In January, it was basically just all the guys we picked up before joining us. I didn't actually sign in myself specifically. He's quite good. He's fast. He's got good finishing, dribbling. His composure's good. Start with an A. Possibly, yeah. I think, actually, when you give them a nickname, it moves them to the top anyway. So Scouty Scouty Neck appears at the top anyway. Mentals aren't great, though. He's 19. And also, what do you mean mentals aren't great? He's 19. Anticipation isn't fantastic, but he's also 19. Like, he's going to get better. He could be a lot worse. It is a lot of money, though. That's the issue with him. £10.5 million is a lot to drop. Like, we have the cash currently, but it's whether I want to spend 10 million on a player right now when I don't think we really need to. Oh yes, very He's not. So he wouldn't even be homegrown. If he was 18, I think I'd probably go for it. Reese, thank you for the follow. I'm not convinced. I do like him, but I'm just... The price is what puts me off. I think I could convince myself to sign him if we had the extra... If he was going to be a homegrown player for us. I'll acknowledge for now. Right, what about you, though? He's that player that we're not quite sure what he is yet, but he is also only 15, so he might be a similar player that won't talk to us yet. Yeah, okay. That's fine. We'll shortlist him too. 14's a problem. Hang on, sorry. you're expecting a 16-year-old, or a really young, sorry, he's 18, isn't he? No, 19, to have all of those things there. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like you look for too much in a player. Not every player has to be Lionel Messi. Sometimes they can just be really good, and I'm fine with that. I don't look. This is what I was talking about when I don't min-max things. I'm happy to sign players that might have a little bit of a flaw here or there, because if you look for the perfect player, you'll never sign anybody. Interested in that, but fine. Fourth best striker. That's exactly it. Yeah. Right. So Levo, we're going to get really cheap, aren't we? He's a youngster as well, which means I can do the contract thing. Oh, only 2 years. Okay. Sometimes when they add that 10% rise in, it means they might not accept this deal. Yeah, thought so. That's usually the sign that they're not going to accept the contract if you just offer them the bare minimum. Imagine having standards. A bit concerning. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do. Buy João Neves. No. I hope that clears things up. Belichkov. Just didn't want to be any confusion there. Oh, okay. I can actually offer it. He's going to want the same thing, isn't he? I might be able to get away with him if I offer him that and then put the extra... Oh, cool. Nice. We did it. Good stick. Min-max. Could put him with Tex-Mex. Yeah. Plus, I feel like players... you know how I am with players, chat. I will also check out who France have left as well in a sec. Okay. I don't know how we've ended up here. Yeah. And that's fine. But that's not what I look for in a striker. We can agree to disagree on that. Just in case. No, the guy that normally comes up when we type for just in case I think is retired. Is this a nickname? Oh, it's a nickname. Why are you signing so many players? Why not?
So I tell the swamp donkey to sack
Vivo Hell, thank you very much for the follow.
Tonk in a tradesman's entrance and have a lick me yarbles.
I want to know what his real name is. Oh, it's basically the same. Why did we bother nicknaming him that when it's literally... I was like, you know what this needs? An apostrophe. Just incredible. I believe so, yes. But as for the reason why we're signing so many players is because we're trying to build out a loan farm and we need players to fill the farm, basically. Plus, you know, solid. Although, don't let him near the goal. That's what I will say on him. Don't let him near the goal. Oh, God. Right. Does France still have teams left? Yeah, they got Marseille in there. They've got Nice there and presumably PSG here. Yeah, so they've still got some teams left, unfortunately.
They are building it now.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for toilet. Really? So it's just in toilet. Huge fan. So Yuri Levy is coming in. Good stuff. I imagine it must be weird actually joining a stream and just me just constantly signing players. But do you know what? You don't get to be in a position to have negative 115 players out on loan by not signing loads of players. Also, someone asked earlier how many players we have on the books now, and I don't know, but I'm hoping it's close to 200. Everything is fine. We only have 205 players at the club, so I don't see anything wrong with that. If anything, that's not enough. I feel like we could do with a few more. Luckily, that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, do you reckon we can buffer overflow this menu as well? Oh. Right. We're getting there. Chat, you know what they say? It takes a village. There's going to be players at the club that have, like, never met each other. Like, don't even know they exist. Right. Yeah, the preseason meeting, we book out an auditorium. That's good. Good shit. 205 players at the club. 100 We can get... Plus, remember, though, let us not forget, there's 12 more of them joining us in the summer. 12 more. And that's just off the guys we've been picking. Literally, just today... Oh, no, it's not all today, because it's weirdly ordered it differently, but... I'm just trying to find players that we've looked at today. Oh, good. Half of these are today as well. Fire marshal. Yeah, we've got like a capacity. That's a shame. Do you want to loan out? Oh yeah, I think the board are just kind of like, let's just, you know what, let him cook, right? The problem is some of them you can't have any choice but to release, because what happens is you keep them for the 8-year contract, but by the time they come to the end of that, sometimes they then want ridiculous amounts to re-up. There was a guy that ended up going to Ajax at the end of the season. He plays Bruno Alves is a centre-back, I believe, for Ferencváros. He's been on loan for us for the last 5 years. But when I tried to get him a new contract, he wanted £17,000 a week, and I just can't afford that for a loan player at the moment. We're getting there, potentially. Took some of the contracts some of our first-team guys are on at this point, but yeah. Bit of that. Oh yeah, no. We're at least past Hamlet level, right? For sure. Yeah, no, if it's an average size of a family of 4, say all these players have partners. Like, statistically, probably not the case. Maybe some of them it probably statistically comes out to about 1 partner on average per player, because maybe some of them have got several partners. We don't know. It's up to them, right? Probably got multiple kids on average too. Probably got, maybe some of them, the younger ones, have got their parents with them as well. We've probably added, like, we could build a small town of like 1,000 people easily, just based on people living near us. We're one of the largest employers in Hungary, yeah. It's us, it's Beng.com, then us. David Illich, yes please. Very aggressive and very determined. That's fine. PSG leading. And Spurs beating Barcelona. Oh, set up a semi against Spurs. Statistically, you're correct, Millie. Yes, indeed. In fact, not even... Yeah. We've got a bit of everything. We've got enough. And we also have enough that we can even use statistics. Because you've got over 100. That's 200 people. Yeah, literally, never met him. No idea who he is. Just our, like, pension fund contributions is obscene. Doing mentoring. No. Fuck mentoring. Fuck mentoring hard. I think it's a useless waste of space, personally. That's just my opinion on it. That's why I don't touch it. We tried setting it up. It was dog shit. It needs a complete overhaul for me, but that's another story. So, Manchester United. Screw the day. This is very true, yeah. But, you know, they'll have partners, which is going to be predominantly women. But, again, as Millie said, best players value that's pay his value. You can't like force them to pay his value, but what you can do is keep rejecting their bids and they'll just keep offering more. So that seems to be more dynamic this year. That's how I've noticed it. I've noticed to just keep rejecting their bids and eventually they'll just start offering more money. Oh god, Jarju at left back. Is this what we want to do? Liam Skinner's not registered, is he? Because we couldn't register him in time. So Jarju is going to play left back against Manchester United. Staff members is probably not as high. It's probably still very high. There's 21 coaching staff, 32 recruitment staff, and 13 medical staff. So that's 53, 60, 66. Do you think the mentor is good? That's fine. Again, this is your opinion. I disagree. I think it's a piece of shit, personally. Because I think... But actually, let me just explain. I think it's shit because it... most of the time doesn't do what you want it to do. It takes way too long to set up. It's very unintuitive, and I feel like the results are kind of negligible and don't really matter that much, so I refuse to use it on principle. I think that what was existing before was way too overpowered, but I think what they've got now is completely ineffective and useless. So, but there we go. You don't have any good right wingers. I suspect they probably do, yes. Oh, God. Well, we know how this is happening. Yeah, mentoring is great at giving players attributes and traits that I don't want them to have, basically. That's all that mentoring has done for us. There's 6 years at this point. I wish you all the best. Yeah, indeed, yeah. I sent them a little gift bag to take with them. Also, hello again, Pog. Yeah, Hurley's... No, Jarju Masterclass incoming. Watch this space, chat. I just can't risk it. Do help. Right, but if it's small updates, then I'm not interested, because for me I'd rather just sign players with good personalities to begin with. I don't believe that they make... It's a question of diminishing returns. They don't do enough for me to waste my time setting them up, is I think the point. And you can't rely on your assistant to do it properly because it actually causes more problems than it's worth. So yeah, I don't touch mentoring with a barge pole because I think it's dog shit personally, which is a shame. Because it would be nice to have that option there. It just feels like it's been overcomplicated. I'm going to start Darla and put Rivadavia in at right back, because he's at least good for the role. I can't risk it. Watch us now get destroyed down this side. It's a great way of getting players to get traits that are completely nonsense for their roles. I ended up getting like a centre-back with tries first-time shots because of it one time, which was great fun. And like, it doesn't even seem to care of the role they play. It's bizarre. Mr. Benson, don't forget you're here forever. Exactly. So I'm very heated when it comes to mentoring because we've had some experiences with it in the past, and I get quite upset about it. Did I trigger press? Oh shit, my bad. Thank you. Once again, I'm an idiot. Whore. Making the Pied Piper. Maybe. Maybe so. Look at Mihail on the bench. It's a shame Lucas lost his streak. Oh, no, that's exactly what happens. We don't have any mentoring set up now, and we still get mentoring traits given to players that we don't want. Because once you set it up once, it's like it triggers something in the background that will not stop it from happening, even if you don't have any mentoring groups. It's ridiculous to me. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, no, bear in mind, when we set this up and actually did test it for a long period of time, players were getting traits, but they weren't getting traits from players in the mentoring group that we'd set them up in. And also, there was this weird thing where a player who was like a 16-year-old was considered significant relevance to the group he was in, even though he had no squad status and was much younger than every other player in there, which made no sense that he would be the one that would be influencing them, even though his person... It's stuff like that that just seems... not broken, just like... I think it's just not very effective, basically. But we move to training units. We sorted out training units as well. It's just... I'm not having it. I think basically I like to think that I've got a decent understanding of this game, and I still struggle with it, and that to me means it's probably too complicated, especially for a newer player. Hey, we're doing all right. We're doing okay. Well, we're doing a lot better if we win this. Never touch training routes. I think the only reason we touched it was so that we could bring a player up to train with the first team, so that we could then put him in a mentoring group, but then obviously that gets a bit dodgy as well. I have no right back. Well, who was our right back? We had to sell Ruben and we had to sell Hossam. So really, it's the guy who I'm training to play right back. But he's not quite got it yet because he hasn't played enough games there. Attribute-wise, he's perfect for it, but yeah. We're in the height. But my point is it shouldn't matter too much, and I feel like that's really stupid. Why would my centre-back want to start taking first-time shots based on the fact that he's in a hierarchy with a striker? To me, that makes no discernible sense in real life. This is the quarterfinals, Boris. But away at Man United, not easy. We have won here in the past, though, so you never know. Yeah, I want them mentoring. Yeah, and Rivadavia is actually a wing-back. It's just that he doesn't have familiarity with the exact positional role. Exactly, Reese, yeah. And to me, that's the biggest issue. Which would explain, actually, why it's always the attack. It's always defensive players getting attacking traits and very rarely the other way around. Like, I've never had... a striker suddenly get a trait like dives into tackles or something. Oh no, he's missed the target. Yeah, Rivadavia is going to need a big game today. That was a big chance as well. At least we've basically got a full strength side, with a few exceptions anyway. So Castillo's back to playing as a poacher today. So we'll see if that makes any difference. I feel like we'll do a red card. We haven't had a red card in a crucial Champions League game for a little while. That feels like it would be something that's likely to happen soon. Although that's good play from Man United. We've got to get across here. That's an annoyingly good goal. Curls ball master. I must admit, when I first saw the the curls balls into the game, that's what it was great to see. That was just actually quite... The way that he leaves this here is genuinely awesome. I don't know if it's actually on purpose or not, but yeah. We had chances there to clear that, we just didn't. That's true, actually, right. You said you can't learn to tackle. You're not likely to teach anyone else anything. Slow start from us here. I mean, they've not offered much either, other than that one shot. But then we had that one chance too. Possession is looking good for us. And this is without work ball into the box on. We're obviously better at home, but we do need to... Disheartened? Buddy, come on. Cheer up. There we go. Castillo struggled again. I'm also tempted to move him back to being the advanced forward in that role again. Keep everything else the same, but just keep that. River Davey has struggled, unfortunately. I mean, he's not the only one. Bear in mind, Darla's struggled on the left as well. Yeah, the fact that tackling is like, you basically get what you're given, which is why if I see a defender that's got good tackling, I know that I can just build the rest up. Problem on why? Don't know. But I really don't have a proper answer for you. We're experimenting with the way that the roles work at the moment, trying to find what we want to get sorted here. We're still not entirely happy. Like, we've been using Poacher for quite a while now, but we're trying to wonder if maybe it wasn't what we need. Oh, God. Please not a set piece goal. We've actually got enough players back, and they're actually marking people for once. I thought that was Joe Bellingham for a second, but of course it's not. It's his brother. Oh, come on. Okay. Second phase of set piece goal. Standard. They need to look at that stuff. I can't believe they actually haven't. The fact that players just don't do anything after set pieces are cleared. They stand around and wait for other teams to do stuff. It's very frustrating. Off the bar now. Oh, hang on. Castillo. How are they getting a free kick for that? Okay. I'm going to turn what ball in the box on, because we're not getting enough shots on target here. K-Mal! Thank you for the 2 months. How are you, my friend?
Being mentored by a guy at work, and today I picked up his hog's middle lane on the motorway trait and the rolls off his face.
Oh, dear. Oh, at least we had a shot on target now. Go on, just get it to 2-1. If we even a 1-goal defeat here could still... Oh, my lord. It's not going well, Dad. Well, I mean, it is kind of going well, except for that. Okay, so River Davey is doing okay. Castillo's just... He has a canny ability to have an absolute shitter. And so's Tex-Mex today, actually, and that's a rarity for him. We've just not really turned up today. Fuck it. Jarju's in. The Jarge. Maybe Giddy for a bit. Let's try and be more expressive as well. We like that occasionally. It's like our plan B. Can't be fixed. I mean, maybe. I don't know. All I know is it's very clear what's happening, though. We have... Oh, the PPM. We have the person instruction who moves into channel for the poacher.
Oh,
but I think what happens is, when the set piece is taken, the players remain in their set piece defensive positions, even when the ball is cleared, which means that they don't go and mark new players when the other team moves around. And as a result, you get free shots on target a lot of the time. Blackman, thank you very much for the follow. Give us manager time. Like, I honestly thought they were just a bit short on it, and kind of thought, crap, we need something here, right? The music. Oh, God, it's over the bar. I don't think that's ever going to be fixed. Plus, they're also sending that plugin to be paid, which is really dumb. So as a result, I might have to change some stuff. So we may have to lose things like the light changing and stuff. But that would allow me to shift over to the new version of OBS, possibly, and then get that stuff implemented, potentially. It's not really something I'm thinking about at this current time, but that is just a trash-ass performance. I still feel 2-0 is actually harsh on us as far as the game goes, but, you know, you need a little bit of luck if you're going to get to Champions League finals and stuff, and we just did not get it in that game. How did he get an injury already? It's not great. We've turned things around but it's always that second goal. Being 1-0 down at home, going to the home game is nothing to us. It's if we got that second goal, which they did, obviously. Right, so Velchkov, another one. They want to be cool. Tenerife. Oh! I, on a whim, decided to get a report on Tenerife. And I'm glad I did. I'm signing him now. Because he's got an £850,000 release clause. It's true, but you know how FM can be, Adam. Like, 850 grand for him is nice bargain. And we'll say, you know, we get Gonzalo to go for a little holiday. And honestly, this guy's probably worth a little look as well. I mean, we'll scout him anyway, but we'll see. But yeah, basically, Tenerife had a couple of guys in one of the Spanish under-21 squads. And I was like, oh, okay, that means they must have had something lately of note. And I'm glad we had a look here. Get rid of these. Luckily, he's Spanish, and he actually is fully Spanish too, so we won't have to worry about random second nationalities. Unless, of course, he does the usual and becomes Hungarian. 6-year contract for you, and boom, lovely. Touch the area of the barge, but I would touch him with a barge pole. It's true. Beautiful shortlist. Oh, God. Was all of this just from using that method? Fucking hell. That's even better than the ones I found in the video. I was astonished by how many players I found when I was testing it for the video. I'm probably going to make a TikTok about it tomorrow because I probably feel like I should probably use TikTok more. Right. Come on, Haladash. Get in. That's massive. That is massive. 3-1 victory away from home for Haladash in the quarterfinals. Zivkovic, Edvaldo, and Phoenix Bardo rising from the ashes. 3-1 away win is massive. So Marseille leads, and imagine if they got the winner of Panathinaikos Braga in the semis. Yeah, they knocked Lillestrøm out. It was 3-1 in the end. Has the next round already been drawn? Oh, no way. Haladash versus Panathinaikos or Braga if they get through. They've got a real shot at a Europa Conference League final. Again. Because I think they could take Braga or Panathinaikos, personally. Yeah, Andres Pereira. I don't know if it's... Have they actually announced what's happened yet? Because I know he was supposed to be having an MRI this morning. In Disney, thank you very much for the follow. Imagine if they were the first ones to win it. A team that have literally been in the 3rd tier at a point in this save. 4-star over. A month before the window opens. That's not a bad shout, actually. I still sort of do that, but I'm worried that it just takes up a lot of your scouting time, but maybe not. It's broke. What's broke? I must have... Oh, it's broke. His ankle. Was it ankle or lower leg? I suppose that kind of is the same, isn't it? Yeah, not ideal when you have 2 broken bones in the same game. Less than ideal. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, what's really happened for us was he's a lot more expensive. Oh my God. Lee Snodin, a Spanish Englishman. He's 17 years old. I know he's 8 million, but he's 17 years old. I think Gonzalo, firstly. Just to make sure that he is actually as good as that. Because I think that I'd rather drop 8 million on someone like him. But balanced personality is a little bit sus. He's snowed in. Why did I call him Snodden? Rockamora is a great name as well. Big fan. Edward Snodden. He's going to leak all our secrets, chat. Watch out. Just buy him. I still want Gonzalo to give us the final say on it. Just because we've got in the habit of doing that now. Outside the window. Really? That's kind of fascinating. Yeah, we'll sign those up. I just realized we weren't actually signing these guys up. Oh my God. I don't know. It's Spain, obviously. And I did decide that we'd have a little look at some of the Spanish players for a bit, but like Antonio here. I don't know. Cardoso. Resolute. Okay, like that. God, we're finding some talent today. It's great. Yeah, you've got to get all the tin goods. Can't order pizza then. Yeah, this week's just been bad. I mean, losing Tim Ream is obviously horrendous because he's a fantastic player and it's been amazing for us lately. But at the very least, we do have Diop that can slot in nicely. It's Pereira that means that Ken is going to be featuring a lot for the rest of the season. When is the second leg? So it's 3 weeks. Sorry, 3 days. So we're going to rotate here. Bobby Treat. We'll go Kontavrakis right side maybe. Ojeda through the middle. Actually, Yaman can start. I think there's a suspension in there as well. We'll go Yaman and Giddy. Skinner's in, which is great. Oh, God. Javier Lethbridge Cattell, because why not? Oh, yeah. No, we literally can't go down. Worst attacking player in the league. I actually have no idea what you're on about. Are you talking about the same Tom Kearney? Like, what? Tell me you haven't watched him without telling me you haven't watched him. Tom Kearney is not the worst attacking player in the league. Are you serious? I would say so, Scott. Although it depends, because like Kearney did really well off the bench actually against City at the weekend. Leicester Everton yesterday was ridiculously good. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching the highlights. Also, Kearney's an attacking midfielder. Like, just yeah, that's bizarre. What an odd thing to say. Pretzel isn't a centre-back, but today he is. Today he feels like a centre-back, and that's fine. Xavier's actually got some game time this year. That's kind of mad to me. I mean, one appearance, but it's still game time. Let's see. I think Kenny's quite close to setting a record for the most substitute appearances in the season as well, which I believe is currently set by Duncan Ferguson. League's still low for a save like this. I have a video about like save database setup, which is ! Database, I think. But it's not specific for a league. I mean, actually, it is the setup I use for a save like this, in fairness, so it would definitely apply. From my burner account? Ah, fair one. 11 apart from my 11 stars. If I know that that player is either a starter or a rotation option for us, I will put them not on the dev list. Everyone else on the dev list. Because with the amount of games that we get through each season, I know that we're going to have to be doing a lot of what we're doing today, which is rotating the entire squad around. So we want at least double the number of players that we need for any given game. So I'm happy to have like 25 guys that are like our core team, and everyone else around that is, if they're not going to get a loan, then they can stay around and maybe get some football on the fringes. If not, and they get the loan, then that's fine too. Luckily, we've got enough players for that to be a thing. Youth count. Oh, so let's go to the league. That's fine. We've won. Oh, that was the title wish. Title win. We take that. That'll please the board. Slightly. Probably still rating us as a B or something. Yep. Satisfied with... I have, Thomas, had never seen such bullshit. Are you mad, bruv? We are satisfied that steps have been taken to sign players who can be developed for profit. Have you seen the players we're signing? I mean, who are they? Sorry, you haven't signed Lionel Messi twice this week? That is some nonsense. Do you think it's been weighed down by the fact that we're signing some loan farmers too, and they just can't handle that? Look at this. There's a little bit of Ferencváros peeking over the top there. Ooh, Red Star. Proven overall league reputation. League reputation isn't really that important, but just doing well. Like, it will come naturally. There's nothing I do specifically that is designed to improve league reputation. I think we sold quite a lot. I mean, we sold £122 million worth of players this season, including Seri, who we 53 million, bought him for 200k. Just having a look through some of these now, actually. Abdul Nabi, 50 million, bought for free. What else have we got? I'm curious now. Why does it take us to the bottom there? Donovan de la Cruz was 13 million, which I don't think is the best deal for us. They're 6 months. Still doubled our money on him, honestly. I mean, the profits are pretty good. Pereira doesn't really count, to be honest. Good old Ruben. Oh, there we go. We're getting a Yeri Borger. Good stuff. That's another one that he'll be selling for profit that the board won't like. Yeah, the cup is super important, weirdly. That's what I think that's genuinely why the players were so annoyed. Because it turns out that the cup in this save is the second most reputable competition in Europe, only behind the FA Cup. Bank balance is saying, yes, please. 117 million in the bank. Bear in mind, we may have just picked up a load of players, but one Champions League progression, and that's another 10 million in the bank. We can sign another... I thought that was a player we could sign then. Jesus, that... It scared me, but in a good way. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable in my pants. Okay, we'll get those guys around again in the meantime. Okay, a couple more A-rated players have appeared. Things you love to see, chatto. Right, good God, what are we up to here? Right, so these two can go. Austin Lowry's a D-rated player. 4.6 to 6.4 million. I think it's just too much for a player like him. Who's he wanted by? That's surprising, actually. So the reason that we're fine with FFP is because we're making so much money in player sales. So as long as we spend the money quickly and we don't like hold on to it for too long, then we're not going to fall foul of FFP. Because we're actually still in profit for this season, thank God. In near teams with high rep, you have the worst youth intakes. Sure, but like which team is stealing our players? Also, we haven't had any players stolen in this save, in fact, as far as I'm aware. So, right, okay, so Kitic, firstly, is one of the Shrevena Zvezda guys. I'm fairly certain this is a Segrist report. Oh, no, Scouty Netneck on you. Oh, to you. Oh, my bad. Oh, I didn't see that. My apologies. Sorry, I get confused. I just see each chat message as its own thing a lot of the time. My bad. There we go. Because I think that's why we've not had any players poached. On the safe side with the view only one. Not beyond the tests I did during that video I made. I think that from what I've worked out with it, basically, it won't, having the view only as well as the way I've set it up isn't going to slow your save down all that much, but it will just allow you maybe a little bit more context for things. One thing we're not sure about, though, is whether it causes those clubs to actually want to sign players more and therefore might make the world feel a bit more complete. So I'd like to do some tests on that specifically, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet, sadly. So Serdan Pavlovich. Is this a Segrist? No. Okay, well, I want a Segrist report on you, because... But the other two definitely are. Scouted by... It's weird that it says that. I kind of want to sign both of them. Especially now that Radovanovic has been given the Gonzalo seal of approval. We'd be mad not to sign him, wouldn't we? Especially as he doesn't have consistency problems. Driven personality. 15 passing as well. He could honestly be a roaming playmaker. Yeah, he's an insta sign. Please, 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 please. Yes! Come on. He might cost an arm and a leg. But... Oh, no, of course, Luigi. Yeah, of course. That is absolutely the case. But, you know, you still would like to see... Point being, even if you take into account the size of our club, we've had terrible youth intakes for the most part. Although some of them have still gone on to be Hungarian internationals, but through absolutely no reason. There was one guy that was like he was like the 6th best player in a random youth intake that ended up getting like a load of caps for Hungary at left back because they were so light there. Better dribbling. True. We'll find something to do with him. What is his dribbling currently? Oh, yeah. Point being, he's worth us picking up regardless. Even at 5 million. That's still a bargain for a player of that kind of quality. And I kind of want to sign Lee Snodin too. There's just so much about him already that if we can get him... Well, we might potentially change Banksy when we finally get a chance to work on a new tactical setup. Damn. I think Snowden is worth the 8 million. Now that we've got... They're both A- rated, which is so rare for us to actually find players that are A or anything rated. Most of the... Even good players for us are like C+ in these reports a lot of the time. And lately, we've actually been finding a lot more players that are Bs and As. The world is healing. Okay. Bit of that. Bit of that. Is that going to work? Yeah, nice. Keep up with the reputation boost. Well, the youth rating won't change unless you change stuff specifically yourself, whereas the country's youth rating will basically not change at all, as we've already seen from the lack of dynamic youth rating progression, sadly. Good pressers. I don't know if they are or not, but I wouldn't be signing a player specifically because they're a good presser. This is what I mean. Like, I don't sign players for one specific attribute a lot of the time, unless it's like 20 finishing or 20 composure. Then I'm kind of interested, but they have to have other things too. He is a little bit consistent, but he's obviously 17, so we'll forgive him that. It will come with time. And because he's fully... Oh, he's not fully Spanish. He's Spanish and English, but that's fine, because if he gets any caps for either of those countries, then, you know, he's a monster. In fact, we might be able to get a... Yeah, 6 years is not ideal, but that'll still take him to 23. Yeah, cool. Trying to summon Z. Do you think that's what, like, mentoring is to me, if someone says dynamic youth rating around Zealand? Just sets him off. And I'm totally with him on that. Well, that was quick. God, we've signed a lot of players today. There's been nothing left for us in the transfer window. Ooh, we pushed with a big win. Haladash, could you please get back into Europe? At this rate, they're going to need to win the Conference League in order to get back into Europe. To be fair, given the situation with Manchester United, there's a very good chance that we could end up spending the last hour and a half of the stream building a tactic. Because we've got a lot of work to do in this game, and I just don't know if we're going to be capable of doing it. feel like everyone, you're right, every streamer does have that little trigger point. For me, it is mentoring, genuinely. But what I would say is, if they do win the Conference League, would that give us an 8th team in Europe? I think it might do, actually. Lithgow's no Oh, please no. No, you've got Scotland caps. You're fine. I think you need one more cap, though, just to be safe. Because I think he can still declare, can't he? Oh, no, as long as it's... I don't know the rules. They constantly change. An Algerian. Eddie Walden. Sorry, Waldine. Bit of that. Boom, boom, boom. Switch clubs. No. It's not fun for me. Part of where the fun comes from this is building a dynasty. And then... I think if we change... Plus, if we changed clubs, then we'd get to watch our legacy be destroyed in the space of 2 seasons. As is often what happens whenever we leave a team. It just... I couldn't do that to myself. Yeah, I've seen Germany in this save, actually. Or in another save, I think it was, have 9 teams in Europe. Another save this year. I mean, if we manage to somehow get to number 1, then yeah. If not, then no. I have no direct plans for one, let's put it that way, because I figured it would probably take the whole year if we were actually going to succeed in it. Not really. At this stage, Barney, no. That's more of a season 3 to 5 type of strategy when you're at that kind of level. Those players are just simply nowhere near good enough for us anymore. But at the time, they were fantastic, and I would highly recommend doing it. But for us, it's just not quite as effective anymore. Well, not even quite. It's just simply not effective. Darla and Terranova, that's fine. They're rested out and ready to go. Now, Montiel and Patrice is now the starter in many ways for us here, too. I think with a stronger backline here will help us. Sufficiently tiny. We actually considered that before, Ugly Eye, because there are some... like I think there's an 8-team league. Oh, nearly did it again. Nearly did it again. Right, I need a wee. So, it's time for... We actually didn't get one on Sunday because I just didn't urinate the entire time. So... You know what to do, chat. Guess the badge. I don't know what it is this week, honestly. I'm honestly not sure that any of you actually got it. Let me just scroll back. Oh, no. Lord Richard got it, I think. Unless someone got it before him. Yep, the correct answer was Radnitsky of Serbia. Also, I come bearing gifts. Nailed it. Well played. That was a very... I thought that would be a tough one for you. And it was, clearly. Now the music has stopped. There we go. Also, you know, on Sunday, I was talking about how, like, Pog and I were going to get a curry later, right? So, turns out, we went to order the curry. Pog's like, I've checked, they're open, it's all good. Went on there, hit order, closed. Shut down. The disappointment on her poor little face. It was horrifying. Luckily, we made our own yesterday, so that kind of made it a little bit better, but still. Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, he doesn't actually... Plus, that one doesn't look any like the one that they have in the game. I think because I always use V4 for the badges, because if I use Midjourney version 5, they just look way too realistic to the point where it's super easy for you lot. There was one I accidentally did in version 5 a little while ago, and it was just like everyone got it before I'd even left the room, basically. Right, this is a big one for us. We need to actually step up today. And I'm not convinced that we're capable of it. For its own boots, true. It can build its own boots, that's the problem. This area of their team is certainly on the... They've got Joe Medinger. God damn. Oh, it was just chicken tikka masala and stuff like that. Ah, dear. Right. Encouraged. Let's have this. Haladash aren't playing today, are they? So... Oh. Portuguese are eating our dinner on the park bench. What? That's mad. Oh, please no. Not like this. Not another one of these goals. The keeper's a long way across to his left. Oh, good stuff. Those ones don't go in anywhere near as much as they used to, thankfully. Weirdly, it's the ones that are slightly further away you want to watch out for. Oh, great. Now Malero's hurt himself too. Maybe a breakaway? Don't foul him, please. Oh! Fucking hell with the second phases, man. That's 2 of the 3 goals they've scored against us have been second phases or set pieces. Because look, Tex-Mex, run a guy right here. Just, he does kind of get near him, but not, I mean, it's not entirely his fault. He is sort of near him. How bad's the Malero injuries? And Castillo's already ruining his rating. Malero's having a poor day as well, but he is obviously slightly injured, which isn't helping. They're all just kind of playing like shit now. Honestly. I'm just going to revert to what won us the Champions League last year. And maybe not overthink it just here, because I think we're going to have to try and get into this game a little bit. And I mean, this would be the comeback of all comebacks if we somehow came back from here, given that we're 3-0 down on aggregate. Yeah, sort of near him is all we can really hope for out of FM defending a lot of the time, isn't it? So, go on, use the overlaps. Here we go. Instantly better. Tex-Mex is in. Within seconds of making the change. Tex-Mex is through. It's weird. There's more space for him when the striker is out the way, but I just feel like this seems to work better. Lovely build-up, by the way. This is gorgeous football. Castillo with a great assist. And now we're in. 3-1. Can we get back into this match? It's a lovely football. Oh, what camera? It's the TV one. So literally called TV, I think. And then I have it set to 2 notches from the... I think it's 1 notch here and then 2 notches here, I think. Anyway, let him cook. We got this. We're still in this. Oh, hang on. Imagine if we've got another one here. Malero. Flicked away. But we could second phase them, perhaps? Continue the trend? Oh, that was the wrong pass, but this might not be. Dala drills it side netting, but this is more like it. We're coming back into this a bit more now. We're starting to find our feet a little. Showing that quality we possess occasionally. Have I turned it on? No. That was a conscious decision. Because we were just turning it on. We were turning it off way too often anyway. That I'm fine with leaving off. We had that off when we won the Champions League as well, I believe. In fact, I think turning it off is what allowed us to win the Champions League in the end. Okay. Look at the performances now. Velasquez has actually struggled. That's a rarity for him. Malero, is the injury actually affecting him? He is hampered by it, right? Okay. I think that maybe Contavrakis, because he's just so good in these games. And honestly, not Navarro, he's on a yellow card and he was struggling a little bit. Might try to be more expressive again. Most impactful youth player? Yeah, that's easy. No one. Honestly, I guess it'd have to be Zoltan, which I'll show you, but impact is a strong word. Certainly hasn't had an impact for us anyway. Let me just get through some of these. I'll refund your points for that and that. And I'll keep that there for a second. Right. Let's just try to... Both their DMs, let's press up on them a little bit more. It's kind of desperation territory a little bit now. Fuck, I'm going to type mark them as well. To see what happens. With half an hour to go, we've kind of made a little bit of a roll of the dice in certain areas, but it just looks like this game is just going to get stagnant as fuck. I'm thinking. We could try and control a bit more possession maybe and actually go the other way with this. Okay. If we get one goal back within the next 5 or 10 minutes, then there's a chance for us to get that third goal. That's offside, I presume. Permanently? Not really, no. Okay, no, it's just a goal. For some reason, I thought that was going to be offside. It's 2-1. What a pass this is, by the way, from Yamin. And what a touchdown that is from Silva. Castillo's then had a chance to lob the goalkeeper. Holy shit. Right, 3-2. We're back in this. We're not done yet. How much screen showdowns? There's obviously with Matt moving on to a proper, I say a proper job, like a different job. It's made things quite tumultuous. So there'll be stuff happening. Going attacking doesn't do anything, but thank you for the back seating. Let's do that. Going attacking just means that we'll shoot from distance and take loads of risks that we don't need to. I think is one of the most useless. I think it just needs to be changed. The nomenclature around it needs to be changed, to be fair, for me. There's actually a little file that Millie provided me that I need to change that actually changes the names of things so that they make more sense. Right, okay, come on. Here we go. Oh, no. Right, come on, get there. Yes, well played. Oh, how did you not win the ball there? Okay, I was well played, briefly. Right, there we go. This is more like it. Bit of energy. There's still 20... Oh, great. There's still 20 minutes left, you know. If we were to score, there's actually a chance that we could potentially... Oh, God. This is a bit too end-to-end now. Oh, no, this is their goal, isn't it? I can feel it. Penalty. What a save. What a save. Oh. I feel like we've still got something here. This is not, like, good tackle. I feel like there's a big chance left for us in this game somewhere. We're starting to create stuff now. Yamin, right, look at the space on Navarro. It's a really bad pass. I don't know what he's really trying to find with that. Oh, no. Please don't foul him. Please don't foul him. Please don't foul him. I don't need a red card for Navarro here. Oh. Come on. Oh, no. Is that Rashford still playing for them? Fair play. Oh, no. What a save from Hurley. No! Fucking hell. Oh. Great save. The save from Portilla there was absolutely superb. To get to that, and then he has to be throwing himself in front of that. He just is a bit lazy from Montiel. United have weirdly come back into it the last few minutes as well. Although, Tex-Mex now to take corners. Ball in. Cleared away. It's going to come back to him. Go on, just yeet this into the box, Texie. What the fuck? What was that? Yeah, this is kind of... You know when FM games just kind of go a bit off the rails? This feels like one of those where there's just going to be chances after chances now. From both sides, potentially. Contafrakis! Nah. Shit. And you know what the worst thing is, chat? I feel like we do get the third goal, but it's going to be because of that goal conceded that we won't win this match. Or, like, take it to extra time. Keep the pressure on him. Yes. If you could tackle him, that would be lovely. United are actually surprisingly still throwing bodies forward, which is impressive from them. I wouldn't have thought they'd be wanting to do that at this stage, considering. Oh, my life. Why can you play like that for us, eh? That's got a bit wrong, isn't it? We had a spell in this when we got that second goal, when we were looking ridiculously good, and then something happened, and United just seemed to... Maybe they just took advantage of our extra exuberance in this game. I don't think we deserve to lose this, though. Well, this game, anyway. The tie, definitely. Nah, we kind of do now. They've found something out of nowhere. Ah, well. We weren't going to compete against that. It's... You could... Hang on, I'll show you. It's this. Like, it's weird. Like, our changes got us the goal, but then something changed for United too, and maybe they just reacted to it, but for whatever reason, it was not it. Oh, Kazito Gerald, thank you very much for the follow. I really do appreciate that. It just wasn't our day. We weren't up for it. We just didn't play well enough in the first leg either. We looked... Remember, we've won at Old Trafford. I don't know about the reputation manager thing. Like, we've got a reputation these days. But obviously theirs will still be higher than ours, but that's... I'm disappointed to lose the home leg, given that we were winning it, but we had to kind of go for it. So, no harm done there. Like, if we'd have won the game 2-1, it wouldn't have mattered. So, I'm glad that we at least went down fighting, I suppose, but still disappointing to have Hurley be able to do that for us. See some Garnacho, please. If you do we have like a channel point lookup for stuff like that, so I'm not just going to do it randomly, otherwise we'll be here all day. So, youth intake players. The most impactful one, I'd say, is probably Zoltan. I still think he is the best youth intake player that we've had so far. And he is still a very good player. But he's not going to be a world beater. But he does still have 11 caps for Hungary by the age of 18, which is not bad at all. Yeah, well, that's what I thought, because I felt that we suddenly had the momentum in that game. Once we got that second goal, it looked like we were creating opportunities, and then it just kind of died. And it could have just been that Man United made a couple of substitutes that just switch things around. Oh, yeah, no worries, Maxi. I'm getting there, but we can only do one thing at a time. So I was trying to show the youth intake player first. That's a good point, Anarith, to be fair. But he's clearly way better than him. Oh. God, I actually did need that, to be fair. My back is... It's from carrying the weight of the Hungarian dreams. Actually, to be fair, we're no longer carrying the weight of the Hungarian dreams. It's all about Haladash now. They are carrying the weight of the Hungarian dreams for us. Oh. It's good. This shirt looks good in purple. Arguably better. I must admit, though, Treaty's kits this year look really nice. It's a shame about their league form isn't particularly excellent, although they did win at the weekend. Or was it yesterday? Not ideal. Right, so I will quickly look up Enciso. He must be fairly old now, right? Yeah, it's time for some... There's two of them. Oh. So it's actually this chappy here, obviously. Plays for Olympia. Back in Paraguay. 47 caps for Paraguay. Wow. It's obviously because, like, he hasn't had the bump. Because this save was started, obviously, a long time ago, so it's not going to have the same effect as some of the newer players. Same with Garnacho. I think Garnacho plays for Anderlecht in this save, if I remember correctly. Where he certainly did at one point. He did play for Anderlecht. Now he plays for Tottenham. And actually, to be fair, solid. Oh, God, look at his record for Anderlecht. That's scary. Also, 40 games. I suppose because they got that system, haven't they? Yeah, they have been given a bump in the latest patch. It's just that obviously these players were from way before that patch. Also, after all that, a free transfer. That's kind of mental. It's unlike Spurs, actually. Usually they just pay way too much. Unfortunately, I think Lamptey... Hang on. No, I'm spelling it wrong. My bad. Oh, no. No, he's actually... Must have retired? Wow. Oh, yeah, he tore up the league. Salsa Ballers. Great name. Wait, this is an English team? Oh, no. Sorry, they all have second nationality. It's Anguilla. God, look at that blur. They've got Cody Petty, who sounds like a NASCAR driver. First career win for number 7, Cody Petty. It just sounds right. Richard Petty's long-lost son. Oh, I'm massively enjoying it, Stewie. I just hope we finish above them this year. Hey, Basil. Today's going... It's good. It's a mixed bag. So we've just got knocked out of the Champions League by Manchester United. Frustratingly so, we just weren't really on it.
You came in summer.
But on the plus side, we have found a load more absolute bangers. Driving is... Yeah, he absolutely does. Could easily be a country singer at the same time. Bit of both. Why not do both? Just take your guitar into the car and have a bloody lovely time. Pupilly high school novella. That's truck nuts. Oh yeah. Mitoma. He probably is retired by now. Given that it's season 13. I think I'm spelling that right. Yeah, I'll refund your points because I don't think he's there. Yeah, 38-39, no chance. Stronger than the Champions League winning side. It's impossible to say. I mean, Champions League winning side was last season, so make of that what you will. Everson, is he the Leicester guy? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me press this because sometimes it doesn't always show up. Oh no, apparently he's gone as well. But on the plus side, we do at least get to like Frank Lampard. I think is just still the manager of Everton. Still. Hey, Everton fans, imagine if Frank Lampard was the manager for the next 15 years. In fact, don't do that. I don't want to harm you. I don't want to harm your mental well-being. What about? I always used to call him Lank Frampard, just because it just, yeah. And Wazza, I think, is still at DC United. I assume so, the Rugs, but I wouldn't know where they are or how to find them, right? But they definitely are about. It's kind of like how Mbappe rocked up as was it? No, not Hanover. Who was it Mbappe rocked up as manager of in the latest Career Resurrection video? Wayne Mark Rooney. There he is. Doing things. I mean, I suppose, but got to give you some hope, right? Well, to be fair, it's because... Was it Wolfsburg? Yeah, it's because with the league not being switched on, there's nothing for them to be sacked because of, I suppose. That being said, Shevchenko's done a bloody good job carving out a career for himself in the Hungarian leagues here, so... Fonseca? Yeah, on my other save, Wazza ended up being like Milan manager, and he was like good at Milan manager. There's always we notice it more in the managers of the national teams in Europe that you see some very strange people. Usually not yet because they're not yet retired. But after about 15 to 20 seasons in this save, believe me, it's going to be funny as fuck when we start seeing some of the ridiculous people that are managing national teams. One of our favourite pastimes was just looking through whoever is managing the European national teams. Some mad shit in there. Oh, enjoy your dentist appointment, Mason. You should have got the dentist to come and do it while you're in bed. Can't imagine Northern Ireland. Yeah, stuff like that. Fuck it. I'll have a look. I'll give you one for free. Let's have a little look through, see if there's any mad shit going on already. Dan Petrescu's Albanian manager. Probably not quite enough time has passed yet for any truly ridiculous managers to be in charge of some of these clubs. Because as you see, they're mostly... Thomas Frank is Denmark manager, which actually does track. Ernesto Valverde is England manager, rather. And Philip Koku is Finland manager. Klopp is the French manager. Why do I not have Klopp's face pack picture? It's weird. Callum Davidson is the new Hungary manager. You say Poch was in charge of Cyprus, was he? I'll come back. Nuno Espirito de Santo is in charge of Ireland. Not a big fan of that. Quite a big fan of that. Yeah, Brian, so far, there's only one team left in Europe this year, and it ain't us, and it's Haladash. They're into, most likely, fingers crossed, going to be in the semi-final of the Conference League this season. So they'd be, if they could get to the final, potentially, and they've got a good chance, they'd be the third Hungarian side to get there. Slavan Bilic in Israel. Simone Inzaghi, that makes sense. Quite a lot of region managers, actually. Often for a lot of these lower nations, I suppose, but still. Van den Brom there. Henningberg, of course. I hate Henningberg for this. He was doing so well as manager of Kishvarda, and then he pissed off to be the Northern Ireland manager, and it's ruined Kishvarda because they've been rubbish since he left. Christophe Galtier there. Johan Carrillo, he used to manage Uipest in this save, didn't he? Yes, and he was also the Hungary manager too. Not much, Peter, other than we are out of Europe, sadly. But luckily, Jim Goodwin, that's hilarious. Sasha Ilic, Gula, Abelardo. Abelardo always does mad good things in some of my saves. Kroki Turti is a great name. Hang on, Shevchenko's Turkey manager. But then who's Ferencváros manager? Damir Shiznar. The Maribor manager is the new... Actually, he's not bad. Different system. Maybe he could be the guy that takes them the whole way. Well, I'll be damned. Oh, yeah, we were just doing that, weren't we? Can I... back to Turkey. God, I love that functionality. Oh, it's just Ukraine left. And then Vincenzo Montella is the Wales manager. Yes. Loved his time at Fulham. Let me just check Cyprus, because I wasn't sure if I saw what you saw. No, Milivojevic is their manager. Was he sacked? I don't think he could have been sacked. I assume that he must have left to take the Turkey job. That happens quite a lot in this save. Resigned after 10 years at the club. That's insane. And he did win 2 cups for them as well. Ironically, he didn't win them the league title. That was the guy before that. So Shevchenko had a 57% win rate. And Krishnar has got 52. It's not bad. Messi and Henry. That's mad. I didn't know Henry was even in the game as like a coach. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, hang on. Here we go. We've been informed that Snodin deliberated greatly before accepting Celta Vigo's offer over ours. It was a very close call for him to make. He's looking forward to continue his career. Well, I mean, it wasn't very close because we offered him like way more money than that, did we not? Let me guess. It's now a ridiculous £36 million release clause. Screw you. God damn it. I don't know how well that would work. I'm surprised that we haven't had... What a cool name. Haven't had more people, but I suppose it's a small enough league to the point where, for all we know, there's some really good managers in the lower divisions, but it seems unlikely. I imagine they've got a bit of a local manager bias, I suppose. So Barcelona through, PSG through eventually. God damn. Right, Haladash. I mean, it's all on them. How are we doing coefficient-wise now? 13.3. That's a dreadful year. Oh, shit. France are actually really close to us now, chat. We need Nice. We need Leicester to do us a favour. We need Barca to do us a favour. And we need to... Oh, this is not looking good. There's a chance we could lose our spot this season, which would be less than ideal. Malmö. Oh, wow. Surprisingly poor for Malmö. Take a bit of that. Rescheduled. Oh, well, I guess we know they got through then. Because our match against them has just been rescheduled in order to make way for their game. So at least they're through. Yeah, it is tactic time. We're going to get to a match first, though. And then kind of see what we want to think about. Wait, that's Wednesday, Sunday. So, Nice are through. Thank God for Haladash. Oh, they lost at home? Come on. At least try. I know you still got through, but like Christ, at least try and win. We could really do with that. Those points are going to be useful. Because what does that do now? The gap is literally less than a point. With both Marseille and Nice being through. And PSG still through in the next round. I don't think we stay ahead of France this year. Other teams is the best part, yeah, for sure. So we've got Kexmet in a couple of days, which means we can have a little look at this. Alain Souter Park. I'm guessing it's one of the French... It sounds like a French team stadiums. Yeah, we're not even in the conversation. Braga's going to be tough. But... Ooh. Luca Lapena is a great name. That's a... Oh, hang on. Wait, no, there's more. Jesus. FC Zurich coming up. Clutch with some of those potential players in there. Okay, the question is, what do we fancy trying out? I feel like 2 strikers would be fun to have. As this other idea for a tactic. Could we do 2 strikers and a shadow striker? Have them split? Because after all, it is going to be used mostly for league matches. Hang on, some of these guys have been upgraded a little bit. It's not looking as bad now. 3-4-2. I don't know. We'll have to have a little look. Once we get to the actual match day, we can have a little... Ooh, not good from Basel there. We can have a closer look. Because I'm trying to think what players... Because obviously, it's difficult for us with, say, central midfielders just because we don't have a lot of them available, and that would make things kind of complex for us. But let's get rid of this. Wait, which one's that? That's the dribbles one. We'll clear that. And start from scratch. Create new tactic. Yeah. Need to keep wingers. Yeah, this is the problem. We do kind of need to keep wingers because we kind of... Yeah. I'm doing good, Sindri. How are you, friend? Advanced Woods and 2 DMs. Really? As in, two inside forwards and... Oh, I mean... So, like, you mean like 4-2-4 almost? Which it literally doesn't seem to have an option for. Wait, hang on. Let's just pick that for the moment. So, you mean like this? Oh, come on, FM. Fuck me. Like... Because Tex-Mex can't play deeper, but the others obviously can. Mids and DM spots, so that they're sat a bit like here. Sorry, I forget that it obviously defaults it. 2 Segundas. Do you think we can actually get that working? So obviously we'd have to have inside forwards. I feel like both sides would be inside forwards. I'm fine with that. We could have a... Hang on, what about this? But would that be that different to what we're currently doing, honestly? We're being overrun in the midfield. We have support that side and then attack this side. And then support that side. Oh, wait, I still want wingbacks because I just love me some wingbacks. But I've support on that side to back that up and then attack this side because I just like to make them asymmetric. I like that asymmetry on them. I feel like you kind of want 3 at the back with no wingbacks. But then we have...
HJK, 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 HJK.
Shoot us often true, yeah. Thank you very much for the 33 months, Lockers. How's it going, friend? Outside, if he's an inside forward, becoming inside a lot anyway. True, but the thing is, we've seen how bad he plays out wide. You could stagger them. Obviously, there wouldn't be DMs. That's just their default role. Right winger is an AP? Pressing forwards. Ignore this for the moment. Possibly we could have one as an attacking press forward and then one as a supporting pressing forward on that side, so it's a bit more balanced. Might be a good time to move over to ball playing centre backs as well. We are out of the Champions League, yeah. Also, instructions wise, I don't think I want an AP out. Did I actually? I clicked the wrong button, didn't I? Yeah, I don't think I want an advanced playmaker out wide. What about a Segundo coming from deep with an anchor alongside him? A CM on ball in midfielder. Surely that's way too aggressive. For me, that would just be way too much, and we'd just get completely rinsed on the counter attack because we'd have so many aggressive players. I like a Segundo anchor maybe as a pairing though. Bear in mind, we're trying to build like a basic thing that we can then switch around in matches. So we want like a starting point which we can then build on. And then, yeah. Well, that's why I like anchors more this year than BWMs. I used to love a ball in midfielder, but I've been so on the anchor train this year. It's ridiculous. What midfielders? No. Basically no, because we simply do not have the personnel for it. All of our players are designed to... Because obviously we're always signing inside forwards predominantly and occasionally wingers, but I feel like most of them are not trained to play deeper and I don't really want to switch that around too much. Switch them over. No, the reason I don't want to do that really is because I want to keep... If this side is going to be more aggressive... Ooh. Yeah, actually, no, I see a point. Basically, I want to get us to the point where we can start and then go into some matches with it and then try and build on it from there. Rechange it. Most of them are natural. I mean, he's actually technically an AM, but obviously he won't play in that role. The question then becomes, what do we do with the rest of... Like, let's just say that that's a basic point right now. We can always switch it around, obviously, anyway. I obviously want positive... Or do I want attacking? I mean, do I really want to... Fast, open, more direct passing. It's the more direct passing that I don't really like. But I don't really want to do another lone striker. Like, I'm kind of bored of having one striker. I would quite like to do 2 striker. I think, balance, I don't do balance. Balance to me is a lack of mentality. If I'm going to do anything, I'll just stick to positive. Central is mid-block. I think if we're going to win the ball off our opponents, we still have to be an incredibly aggressive pressing side, right? And I think, honestly, just going balls to the wall with that, triggering all the pressure. Because if this is going to be for domestic games where we want to be getting in on teams, we want to be as aggressive as we can possibly be. So get stuck in, step up more. Actually, yeah, there's no point in dropping off because we've got speedy players in the defence. Trap. Central areas or outside? Ooh, that is a question. I feel like if we had a back 3, it'd be more sensible to set them outside. Tex-Mex Shadow Striker. Yeah, but Tex-Mex Shadow Striker with the role coming from who? Because if we take Tex-Mex as a Shadow Striker and have what you mean like that? With Navarro just trying to do it all by himself. With Tex-Mex sat in behind, making shit happen. God. Poor Navarro. Who needs centre-backs? In that case, we'd have to trap them inside. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Actually, halfback might not move as much. Chris blocked me. Both wingers on support with get back for defence. But they're not wingers, they're inside forwards. So, also, as far as I know, there isn't a get back further defence option for individual roles. Sure, this can't work. Well, this is Football Manager. This is why I like things like this, because you can just kind of mess around. Hang on, let me think about this. Stop crosses or invite crosses? No, we want to stop crosses because we don't have enough, defensive inside forwards. Now you're talking. Transition. If we're going to be pressing, we might as well press further. We obviously want to be countering because holding our shape is not going to be likely. Because let's be honest, what shape are we even holding? We don't have the depth up here. The wings aren't going to be able to do much. We still have to kind of distribute, I'd say, to centre-backs. That's fine. Distribute quickly because we're going to play high tempo. Presumably a slightly higher attacking width just because we've got that. Pass into space I don't like very often as an instruction. This I might just leave blank. We could distribute long, but we don't have the players with the aerial ability to win the ball. So all that would happen if we did that would be the defenders get the knockdown. They win it in the midfield and we get counted every single time. Oh, inverted foot. Don't even tempt me, Pori. Use wide midfielders instead of wingers. Oh, bear in mind, we've got plenty of time. I just want to get like a basic thing we can start with. I want to play high tempo, but maybe we don't leave the passing super short and actually let it be a little bit more direct. The keeper will do that, you're right. Dribbling, I'll leave that off for the moment. Creative freedom, we want more expression just because it's going to be hilarious. I still would prefer low crosses because they just seem to work better this year in general. No play out defense. I'd be concerned if we try to do that they might end up having to... Basically, my biggest concern... You know when we play out defence, often it relies on those 2 midfielders next to each other. And when the ball is going to go into our solo midfielder, he's not going to have an option to pass to straight away. And that means that we can end up playing a lot of passing triangles that go backwards too much. But I think it does suit our ball. We've got ball-playing defenders, so it would make sense for us to have that on. Round loiter. Tex-Mex basically doesn't play out wide. He just... I don't know if you saw the latest video about this, but like his rating last year was obscene when he played out wide. It was just non-existent. Overlaps. The reason I don't like, by the way, the reason I don't like doing overlaps is because it's not that you want them to overlap, it's that you want them to look for the overlap. And the problem with that is that it means you end up holding the ball up instead of just being proactive. Run with ball. I don't think you can even. Can you do that? I could, but I don't trust them enough. We've got to have a starting point. We can't change everything before we've even actually seen it play in a game, can we? That'd be pointless. Let's say that as a starting point. See how it plays in the first match, and then we can make tweaks based on what we see. See who would actually go in this team. So that would make sense. Navarro. After all that. Only Bobby. Yeah, I know. It's not a question whether I can do it. It's whether I want to do it. No one ever stopped to think whether we should do it. You're right. Shoot less often. because that's just a standard approach I need on every... Oh, no, wait. Do I want the strikers? Probably not. That's the one role I feel like I can get away with it. This, I'm still happy to have him on shoot less often because he actually listens to the instruction and provides some lovely little chances for us in the past. Okay, so Yamin. He's already on it because he's an anchor. Shoot less often on you as well. He's got lots of... He has a lot of... Oh, that's cross less often, Matt. Shoot less often. Got them in the end. Shoot less often because I don't want my wingbacks taking random pot shots from the edge of the penalty area as they do so fucking often. It just stops you getting loads of aimless long shots. Trust your scouts for the attributes. Well, I mean, your scouts are the ones that are giving you the attributes in the first place, but once you can see all their attributes, then it's not really about your scouts. It's about what you can see from their attributes. You know, I'm not changing anything else. We haven't actually seen a game yet. There's no point in changing it before we've seen it play in a match. I think that isn't that built into it? Oh no, it could stay wider, true. He won't shoot less often. He refuses. Too static for a lone midfielder. I'm concerned that if we don't have him be static, he'll just end up here. Again, we're going to test it. We're going to find out what's going to happen. That's the fun of this. It might work appallingly. Or it might be genius. Behold my genius. Okay. This is going to be fun. What just end up inventing like the most batshit tactic that just works brilliantly? Halfback probably, but we'll try it. We'll try it without. Potential 5-star right back has 10 jumping. Well, to be fair, I mean, right backs don't need to be particularly tall, right? Tackling is the issue there, really. But again, if he's fantastic, then sign him anyway if he's cheap enough. Well, after all, this is for the league. And it's basically the idea of this tactic was to start smashing a few extra goals in the league and be a bit more hilarious. And also to give us the thing we could switch to if we're desperately behind in a European game and just need to throw like what we used to refer to as the Merchants of Chaos or Order 69, so that we can execute in a match that isn't designed to stop goals. It's just designed to hopefully catch the team cold and grab a couple of cheeky ones. Really, that's the plan. So let's see. We'll be able to tell very quickly whether it's working or not. Yeah, the fucking... Oh, God, yeah, that tactic I built last year where every single player in the team was on attack. Every single role had an attack duty. God, look how... there's one guy. The furthest... Oh, he's missed it. But look at that from text. We had 3 players putting pressure on their centre-backs there. Solid start. Possession is looking decent, which is nice. Shows that we're actually able to stay in control of the game. I've often noticed that sometimes when you build weird tactics, the possession will just drop into nothing because you're just not able to actually stay stable with it. Patrice again. Oh, go on, Marek. Oh, he's gone for it. What a goal. Not what we're trying to create about it. We lost, sadly, Kitcher. 5-2 on aggregate, which was a bit of a pain. The away game was kind of a bit shit, and then we had to throw some shit. We had to throw some stuff at them in the home match to see what was going to happen. Honestly, no, this is a key. We'll learn plenty in this anyway. That's a great effort, though, from LMS. Just not exactly what we were looking for. Well, I mean, it is what we're looking for, a goal, but... The person has to write all the press releases. Oh, for sure. To be fair, they probably just use ChatGPT to do it. I would if I was in their position. Yamin getting right in there, which is good. It's these areas where we could get caught out, but we've got so many bodies in there that the overloads are insane. Yeboah just driving through. He's all the way in, and it's cleared. Yeah, backline looking good rating-wise too. You're right, actually. But do you think that's because they've got a lot to do? They're busy boys. I suspect. This is looking like we're going to get a penalty here. Yep. But, of course, again, not really what we're looking for in terms of knowing whether we're suiting ourselves tactically. What I would say is that nobody's looking particularly bad ratings-wise in the tactic, which is always a good sign as well. Oh, yeah, I saw that Rashford thing. Yamin's on the ball again. Kontavrakis now. Oh, they're being very aggressive with this, but look at the overloads. Like, we're pinning them back because they simply can't get hold of the ball because we've got so many players in the attacking areas. Kontavrakis now. God, you're right. I think the inverted wingbacks could be quite fun, actually. Just making those runs into those little areas as an option. Montiel flying back and doing the business. You're right. By this point, they're probably all AI. Yeah, so Yamin's got a lot of work to get through here, and he's just going to have to look for those types of... What a pass that is for Dal. But look at... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 players in the box. We actually outnumber them. Oh, he's missed the target. Overloads like that. Oh. Yeah, we kind of already had those shoes. That's what we tend to look for in players as well. Besides, that's the beautiful thing about having a deep bench too. The ability to kind of play through that. We'll have to have a look at who's standing where from set pieces, potentially. But creatively, I mean, we're seeing a lot of highlights so far, which is good news. Yeah, we are out of the Champions League, Bengal Costa, sadly. Yes. Oh, what a ball. Oh, over there it goes again. Yeboah. He's got bodies to pull it back to. Bobby Tree again blocked. No, it's true. Yes, boy. Castillo's still playing like shit, though, but then that isn't actually anything new. He's just incapable of doing anything, apparently. But Bobby Tree's looked... Actually, he's not looking great either. The strikers are looking a bit... They're the one part of this team that are looking a little bit not at it. It might be the roles. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. That's random. Kontavrakis. He's just going to keep going. Yeah, loads of frame drops, and I don't know why, because my internet is fine. Which doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know what it's doing or why. Hopefully you can still hear me, chat. Yeah, I have no idea. It's saying we're dropping loads of frames, but the internet is not... The bitrate's fine. So that doesn't make any